Even with like the production, I had a question that in the movie you got this song.
Now I know from here where I'm going. So if that path is clear, I just need to define the middle. It's just that middle funnel that I feel like is my biggest problem right now.
I'll be honest, I didn't think it's going to be as good as it was.
Yeah.
And I was a bit like, I don't know,
Yeah,
he should have not spent the 7 years. And that's the thing about AI. I always feel the most connection you have with an artist is when you actually see.
They end up building things that are exceptional, but you have to be exception. Like you're an exception, basically.
Correct.
So that's the sacrifice. But then, if that is the case, then you can also figure out how to exceptionally promote yourself.
Thanks a lot for coming, bro.
Yeah, man. Thanks for being here, man. Like fucking nice to meet you again.
Yeah. Second time we're doing the podcast.
Yes.
I think we did the first one in March 2024.
Yeah.
That was also my second podcast ever.
Oh, second podcast ever? Wow.
Yeah.
Dude.
So it was like one of those things that when I was doing it, kind of gave me more like motivation as well. And also the thing that, okay, there are people in the scene who've been doing good work for a long time.
Yeah.
They still want to work with me. So kind of pushed me to work.
Yeah.
So in a way, I think you and Shakespeare, because he was the first one, played a huge role of me getting into podcasts more, putting out more videos and stuff.
Yeah.
Because like the small wins when you get like at the start.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, I can do this. Like, it's something I can actually
No, it's also, I think it's also because like not many people are doing that. Like they're not exploring the nitty-gritties of the scene.
Yeah.
They're like going for the most popular chunks of content so that they can get the views.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
But then people miss out on a lot of the essence of things, basically. There's so many characters here. There's so many like people who are doing different stuff, like really good stuff. And like people do need to explore that side as well. I get it. Like, So big ups to even Shakespeare and everyone. Like that's what we've been, doing all our time here, basically. So.
But even when we had the last conversation, obviously it wasn't the same because we were like online and we hadn't met by then. But I think like we had such a good conversation. I was like, even for me, like I knew a lot about you. But by the end of the conversation, I was like, I learned a lot about this guy as well. Kind of, like how your mind works and all of that stuff. But it's been amazing. That time we talk about Kala Pani.
Yes.
Was just about to release and then it got pushed a bit, but finally released and what a release, man. What a release.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, it was like last time we spoke was March 2024. I was actually planning for an April or something release.
Correct.
But then we had some issues and we couldn't get like sponsorship. We ended up not getting any sponsorship, so we had to push it live because we got the date for Antisocial on September.
Yeah.
And it was 9 months that I was, trying to get a date for a venue, and when we got that date, I was like, okay, you know what, let's finish this right now, So it was good. It was a good experience.
Even when I came, I remember I came last year.
Yeah.
Was it last year? Yeah, last year I came and you made me hear the album in bits and pieces.
Yeah.
And that's when you were about to do the show and all of that as well. So how was the experience of doing the show with the live band? And it was amazing. I saw the videos and stuff. I was like, well, I wish I was there. But
Man,
couldn't be there at that time.
Yeah, I know. We are trying to do more with the band. So the experience at the event was unreal, of course, because like we had the masks and we had the whole light thing going to match the story and all, match the actual visuals from the animated like movie. So it was like basically that sequence was something I've seen in my mind already, like happening live, and working with these guys are like with the band is like a different experience because I feel like I've also been raised on a lot of new metal stuff and I feel like I have that in me and I have that in my blood because I used to write like the songs that I write. They have a melodic side to it as well. So I want to explore that side of myself as well. So the band was basically first formed for, okay, we want to present Kala Pani differently. It took a year for us to recreate because there was a lot of back and forth between like, how do we make it sound like something else while also sticking to the theme of Kala Pani and the songs themselves because HHB has a different process of making stuff and the band had a different process of making stuff and I was seeing both the sides of things and we finally got it to work where it was one seamless experience and like with the band it's just you just feel more powerful, I would say, more energetic. There's more sounds as you're performing that you can hear and you can blend with and play along with, so it was like one of the best experiences I've had performing. So like yeah, that's one thing that I really loved about like the Kala Pani launch. So and Antisocial is an amazing venue. So.
Yeah, it's a nice venue. Yeah. Was it the first time you were performing with a live band?
Yes. Like I've done stuff with guitarists before. Like I've done 2 shows with just guitarists and the backing track playing, so the guitars were on top of them.
Yeah.
But then with a drum, with a bass, and the guitar as well, it's like a new.
Yeah, it's like gives you
more
different,
energy. Yeah, exactly. It's just live. All the frequencies are right there. You know, so it's just another like experience, and I love that experience. Like I love performing. Like that's one thing that I really want to do, and I look forward to doing.
Yeah.
So with the band, it's like we want to make that happen. You know, we want to make that, give that energy back. You know, so that's one thing that we are on the road to discovering and exploring and doing. So
and also because I saw like some of the videos and stuff with the band, was HHP involved in it as well? How the song's gonna shape or not really?
No, because
it was
this
just
was
you
a separate.
and the band.
So Sujan Sengupta, he's one of my earliest friends like in the scene. We used to do this show called Sound of the Streets, and it was me, MC Heem, and Sujan. So he used to program it. So what we used to do is, it was a radio show. It was playing in a radio in Washington DC.
Okay.
So from here we used to send like 10 indie tracks, which Sujan used to curate, and 10 rap tracks, which me and him used to curate. And we used to do a show where we have 20 tracks and we do like a radio show basically, where we explore the tracks and talk to people about what it's about, and we used to send that. So that was back in like 2017.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so from 2017 there was this whole time skip from 2017 to 2024, beginning of 2024, and that's when I met Sujan again, and I just told him like, I have this album stuff that I'm working on, so I wanted to get that experience out via a live band. So he was in for it, and he got along like 2 amazing people like Jeremy on the drums and Asim on the bass. So they come from like huge different backgrounds of like music, of metal, of rock, and everything in between. So that experience is like, the sync was there. Like that was the amazing thing about it, and like the best thing is like apart from me, all 3 of them, they also love new metal, and they love the sound and vibe of it. That's what they grew up on as well, and they want to do it. So I was like, this is amazing, because this is the passion that we need to create something. Like, otherwise it will just be like, okay, we are just doing the songs.
Correct.
But then they painstakingly like took the time out to identify places where they fit in and what they can add to it, and refine it for a year until 2025.
Oh, so you guys were like kind of jamming in and out?
Yeah,
for like
every week. Almost every week. Yeah, almost every week we were jamming.
Yeah.
Every 2 weeks, every week, and throughout the whole cycle of the production of the whole album and visuals and everything.
Yeah.
So it was a really good experience. Like I learned a lot as well. Like how the live sounds work, how this works, how that works. So. It was really good, and it was a challenge for me as well, because I had to match that energy of the because it's not hip hop. Like hip hop has a certain energy. Of course, you can play it loud, but when you're with the band, you have to exert. You have to push more, and that was a really good thing for me. So
nice. Even with like the production, I had a question that in the movie you got this song that plays for a bit, Juari Wantas, which was also meant to be your second track, on the album. But then it obviously didn't make it to the album, but the start bit of the beat is what is for Phone Go Bling, right?
Yeah, it is the Phone Go Bling. So the beat itself, the Juari Wantas beat, is the actual remix that HHB made for the Phone Go Bling beat. And that was like, what you see in the movie is like literally my feelings, because I had this whole identity crisis when Juari Wantas and all of those things were going on. And it was also like, I feel it was like the pressure around me.
Correct.
To like blend into a sound, and because that was the gully sound that was popping off and all that stuff. And I was working with like, people in Dharavi. I was working as a tutor and all those stuff, and I was surrounded by the sound itself. So I was very influenced by it. But then I realized like, what, that's not me, bro. Like I don't want to fit in. Like I tried. Like I lost myself in a certain point of time, and that was the time that I wanted like quick results, and I wanted like I was very impatient. So like I learned that from then, and that was when I changed my name as well.
You did
Trapojo and all that stuff. So we thought we would do a more trappy sound, very commercial, absorbable, and even the name itself was like true, because Poetik Justis, people might not like, even when they type it, they can't type the actual spelling.
Correct.
So I was like, we should have something changed. But then after a while, I thought like, this is actually like, what's the point? What's the point? Even if you do get the numbers, and even if you do succeed at whatever it is that you want to do. So I just had this realization like, I don't need to do that, and I just need to stick to what I do and like level up on what I do. So that whole sound came from there, the Juari Vantas thing. And then when we remixed it and we made the Phone Go Bling beat, and I was writing to Kala Pani as we know it, it was like, this is much closer, and like this is actually what I want to speak about. Phone Go Bling became that song. It's the actual song that introduces the plot line in the actual story. So the remix and then the scene of me calling HSB up and talking to him, that's actually my thoughts like at that point of time. Like, this is not me, and it's a street vibe and all that stuff. So a lot of the parts in the story are inspired by like real moments.
Correct.
There are like some real moments in the story as well. So.
Even like if you like see when you go and meet the owner of Ranbhoomi Records,
Ranbhoomi Records.
Ranbhoomi Record. It's like, it's so true though. There's so many people in the scene who don't even speak the language.
Yeah, they don't.
But they act like they know what's happening in the street level when they've never been there.
Yeah, exactly.
So that happens, like that's like a...
I mean, the Ranbhoomi scene, like me meeting a label thing, that has not happened. But there have been deals like, I've seen where it's like, it doesn't really benefit the artist. Now with the whole AI thing coming up, it's like, I just added that layer as well. Like, because it is happening. Like, people are being trained on, like, your songs are being trained. Like, if you sign to a label, there are clauses where they can use your song to train the AI so that people can make similar songs as you. But I don't know how much it benefits the artists themselves. But like this is a real thing. Like people are doing AI deals and all that across the board. Like it'll be more as we go further. It's fine as long as the actual creator earns something out of it and they get tagged and copyright and I don't know. Like I don't know how it works because with AI music the thing is like people are literally creating new genres, man.
Correct.
Like they don't exist. The sound doesn't exist, which is interesting. It's really interesting. But then at the other hand, like the creators, now everybody can be a musician, which is in their mind. Like, and people are doing this. Like I've seen a lot of, like not friends of mine, but like people that I know that, are posting AI music, claiming that it's theirs and all that stuff. But it's like, but there's no fun in that creation. You can claim whatever is yours, but where's the fun? Like, are you even feeling something when you're making this? Or did you just make it, So that's what I feel about all of that. But the Ranbhoomi thing, getting back to the whole scene, is like, it didn't happen, but then I know the parallels where it's being drawn, and that's just the AI thing that I spoke about. But the actual thing is like, the deals that people get are not beneficial to them, like most of the time, a lot of the time.
And I also feel like in India, the biggest problem that I see within the scene when I meet like other artists as well is like, there's no like, there's no label here that's developing artist. It's more like, okay, you do these kind of numbers, we'll get you on board, we'll sign you for these songs, or like it's not like actually working on their branding or like what is your world. And like, for example, like if let's say I'm working with you, I should be looking what your branding or your world is, right? And then I should be looking at the song based on that, not thinking what works for a different artist. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like over here it's more about this worked last month, this is what you should make. But is that even something you can make or you do make? You know, like, or people probably don't even associate you with that. They're not gonna like it. Kind of thing,
It's true. Like more than the labels, I would say, like if there's two sides to this, where it's like there are some labels which do develop artists, like they tell you like how to do, like not how to do things, but then how, like you need a third person to see you as whatever you are, and then tell you like, hey, maybe you should try this and that, and that person has to be smart enough to like fit what you want to what will work. And a lot of the artists who are doing that already, like indie artists, they're already blowing up and they're getting into really good agencies because they found that balance, and that's where I feel like you don't need a person to tell you that, like you can actually do that on your own, and that's what a lot of people are doing. Like they're literally creating their own style and aesthetic and whatever they want to follow. So like I believe in that, like I'm trying to do that as well, So like I get that. And the other side is especially brands, like a lot of brands, like choose a brand, like they'll just see what's working outside because they have no clue about the music itself. They just see something pop and they'll call up like 5-10 artists and say, hey, we want to do something like this. and then they'll take some kind of pictures which might even be for free or whatever, and then they'll say, yeah, maybe this works, and they have this leverage over artists where it's like, yeah, we know that you need the money and all that stuff. So like it's that kind of a game. They'll just see it like something that blew up yesterday, and they want to recreate that same thing because it fits in the media cycle and whatever, because it's popping right now. So that's the brand's kind of thing, and a label also follow, like where the money goes, the label will also follow. So if they contact a label, they'll say like, yeah, they'll charge you this much and blah blah blah, and then you have to make something like that. So but nowadays I see some artists are like breaking those, like they're not compromising on their sound to adjust to something simply written. So even if you want to promote like any food product, or if you want to promote like a brand like a car or whatever, they'll make sure like it sounds good. It sounds true to who they are. Like that wave has hit. It has hit, but very few people get to have that leverage over it.
Correct.
And that, I feel like that also depends on your manager, bro. Like, and if you are getting those opportunities, because everybody's cutthroat for the opportunities, So if they find something that works, the brand also has to agree to it. By the time the brand agrees to it, there can't be another option that says like, you know what, yeah, this guy will just do what you want to do and pay him less and whatever, I don't know. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword, but it's good to not do something and compromise, because your long-term brand value is just gone if you just compromise on the short-term gains or whatever. So yeah, it is a balance that people have to take, and they can choose for themselves.
That's like up to each person what they want to do as well.
Exactly.
I actually want to start with Kala Pani, asking about like, with Kala Pani, there's so much thought in like every scene that you've put in and stuff, no? So with the name as well, because like the first time I heard the name Kala Pani, it kind of takes you back to the jail, the infamous jail, like, or like even there's like some Hindu context to it. So when you thought about that name, I'm sure you're someone who would not just name your album just like that. What was like, whatever you can kind of disclose, like what was your thought behind it mainly?
So when I started writing like Kala Pani years ago, like in 2017, the album was actually inspired by this book called An Empire of Darkness by Shashi Tharoor. And it was about how the Britishers basically colonized us and how much they looted us basically. And like everything, like the slavery and all of those things, and how those post-colonial mindset is still affecting us. And there's a lot of themes that are still present in the album itself, along those lines. Like the album is a separate, how do you say?
Concept and theme
from the visuals, and the visuals are a separate theme. But then Kala Pani, I actually don't know how I got the name, but I felt like this Kala Pani, it fits a lot because that's the jail that we were taken to, and we had to like solitary confinement, and there was a lot of mass suffering and all of those things. And there was no particular reason for naming it Kala Pani, but I knew the last song was like Kala Pani. Like that was the song that I felt like the whole album leads to that song. And once that was set, like once we started creating the album, like me and HHB, from 2017 to whatever 2023, there have been so many revisions of the songs along the lines, and there are some parts of the songs that are like years old, even vocal wise, even production wise, and there are some songs which are like brand new, which is like same vocals and production. So the theme of Kala Pani, in an album sense, it fits where when you listen to the album, you're following the same journey, but then it separates itself from just like me being lit or having some money and all of those things to societal, the
goes from after narrative. Chalega, it kind of goes more into that zone.
It's the same thing with what you see in the movie, but in another direction. It gets more interpersonal. It's like you're seeing the social narratives come into play, and it's what do you call it? It's the what do you call that? I forgot what it's called, but it's like you're talking about
it's like social
human
commentary,
condition.
No?
Human condition basically in this place and in India. And that's what, like for the song Dharam Brushed, for the song Kala Pani, for Kranti Kari, all of those things, they have personal themes, but they also have themes of the community around us, and that's what is happening. And I wrote this in 2017. Like onwards, and it's still like it's still valid. I'm like that's the thing. Like if you want to talk about things happening around you, this is how I talk about things, and it's still the same. Like you can literally relate to it even if you hear it today. So that's something that's kind of fucked up, but that's the situation of the scene right now, the country right now, and it's just going. And on the other hand, when you hear Kala Pani in that context, in the visual context, that's another trip. Like that's like Kala Pani became this thing because it was inspired by a lot of this manga and anime and all that stuff. So I saw this. It's an origin story for something that sets you free. And while like writing the story for how the visuals are gonna look and all that stuff, that's where I blended in like, this is the story of Somras basically, which has not been explored in our religious texts. Like there are gods that drink this substance, and they start tripping and they wake up and all those things, but there's no context to how this was created and all that stuff. So there's so many different aspects to this whole visuals which are completely different from the album, but it's both of it is like freeing, like seeing like not just your mind evolve but also the state of society as you see it. So one will show you like interpersonal stuff, and one will show you like how you can literally just wake up, like you need to get beyond the digital attachment as well. So it's both situation.
That's the thing, that's why like also like because you've spent so much time with it, and you've not just put out an album with a concept. You put out like an album with concept, but you've also got this movie with a different like things happening as well. So there's so many layers that people can actually, go into it, and they could hear it for like a long time and still not understand everything. Because I'll be honest, like even I would have heard it a lot of times, but I'm sure I don't get all of the layers there are, because there's so much to like take away from it as well. So when you were doing this as well, like, was there any point where you were like, okay, I'm putting in all this work, I'm doing all of this, I put in all this years, people are not going to get it because unfortunately that's how our society and a lot of like, just not our society, in the world. In the world, people are not like actually thinking about things. So were you worried at any point that I'm like putting in so much work?
No, honestly, I was not worried. Like I was not, so that's the thing, like even with the release of this, especially from 2023 to 2024, when I was creating the visuals, when the ideas came to me and I was like reaching out to people and creating these visuals and stuff, like that's when I came to find out like what I'm creating is like, I'm just channeling what I have to create, and this is the time and opportunity I get to create something like this. And the fact that I was able to do it, like I feel it's a miracle, because I've never written any kind of long form story or a script. There's no script for Kala Pani.
Oh,
there's no script.
Were you just telling them?
No. There was this. So I used like Midjourney to generate like a storyboard, a rough storyboard, and then I sent this to like teams, like the two teams that have worked on it, and I said like, this is what I want in this. This is what's gonna happen, and like the songs also chronologically blended like each scene. So the songs are what connected the story together, and like I was imagining, what I want to happen per scene. And like once I knew, once the thing was getting closer, like a lot of people were asking me the same question, like, hey, what do you expect? What do you expect? I was like, I'm still blank. I don't expect anything from what it has to happen. I feel like this came from a place of purity, and that's why I was able to create it. Like there's no other way I would be able to create something like this. So just the fact that sometimes it felt like the visuals and the album, it wanted to come out and create itself in that way. Like that's all I can explain. And me just being the vessel to like do these things was my, like, what do you say, was my luck, basically. I was fortunate enough to do that.
To be like part of it.
Part of that, And since it's a 7-year thing and we've been talking about it, so everybody on the team was like happy that it's finally getting made and it's becoming real as time went on. And then once we released it and once it was out there, like the whole journey, looking back at it, is just beautiful, bro. That's something that I'll carry with me. So that's like, I feel like artists shouldn't care about what's going to happen after.
Correct.
They should first care about like, what do you really want to do? What is it that, because you only get this much time, to do it in this life. And like, if you don't do what you want to do, what you resonate with, like with conviction and purity, like doesn't matter. Like you'll just keep cloud chasing basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So I really loved like this whole process to do it, you know, and it opened up so many avenues. I learned so much about myself. I learned so much about my music. Learned so much about how I can, you know, take this to other levels and all that stuff. So, yeah, I mean, definitely, it was a life-changing experience for me.
Yeah. And I also feel this is your best work till date.
Thank you.
For sure.
Thank you.
For sure. Like even like Green Heart Astronaut, I still love that album.
Yeah.
But I feel like this had like so much more compared to like,
it does.
you know, like it's even when I heard like when you made me listen to it before it released, when we heard the few songs, I still didn't get the whole picture, you know, because we were listening to like parts of it, bits of it.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, I didn't think it's going to be as good as it was.
Yeah.
And I was a bit like, I don't know, he should have not spent the 7 years.
I know.
I was thinking that, but then when I heard the whole album and like I sat down with it and I was like, this is something like people are going to talk about it for years. It's not something that's going to trend today, you know?
Exactly,
like,
exactly.
And also what I liked about this compared to Green Heart Astronaut is I feel this is an easier listen, though it's got a lot of layers.
Yeah.
But because it starts a bit more like with
Light,
Late and Pesa and Chalega and all of that,
yeah.
like it's a bit lighter when it starts. So by the time you go to, after Chalega is, which song is
Krantikari.
Krantikari. So by the time you go to Krantikari and you're talking about like a lot of real shit, people have already like had a bit of fun with it, you know. So it's not like it's not heavy straight away.
It's not heavy straight away. Yeah, that was actually the point as well. Like I wanted to like lure them into like get this also into your system and out the system, and then from Chalega you start questioning it, and then from Krantikari you're just like deeper and deeper into it. So
and I also like the sequencing because Chalega comes and it's like all about like everything, sab kuch chalega.
Sab kuch
और उसके बाद next track is when you're like actually talking like okay, but chalega to theek hai, but I have these problems with, and then that's when it kind of moves there, you know. It's amazing. And Phone Go Bling, bro.
Yeah.
That song has been on, like I've been listening to, bro. It was like one of my favorite songs because like it's such a loop-worthy song as well.
Okay.
And I also feel it's like it's got the main core of the album as well. You know, like it's got all the themes of the album it talks about. And I loved Started Off Poor's Woes as well. He killed it.
He's a killer.
But that whole like even the beat and like all your verses, I think I was listening to that song so many times. It's made my top 5, I think. I did like a list on my website as well, and it was like my top 5 or top 10 or something. Because like, and there's so many songs that you know get
from
released.
The album,
but like that song I was listening to so many times. I just love the beat and the
Phone
verses.
Go Bling is like, very rarely do I hear like I have heard people like Phone Go Bling the best. But it's like rare. Like also it's very close. Like people I'm close to, like they like Phone Go Bling more than the other songs. I'm like okay, cool.
Because also that song is like you're talking a lot of real shit. But it's catchy as fuck.
It is.
It's like catchy as well.
It is catchy.
Like you're like okay. I'm listening to the lyrics, but I also still want to bop my head. You know, like it's like,
even on live, like people were like resonating with that song the most.
The live, it would be amazing.
Live was
playing
amazing.
Live.
That was a fun song to play. Like live, that was the fun song to play.
And I like the title track as well, Kala Pani. I like that a lot as well.
Crazy.
And you talk about like because you're saying it's been inspired by the book by Shashi Tharoor, and although the hook is like East is East.
That is also that's a poem. I think
it's a poem.
It's a poem by I think it's Rudyard Kipling, and he references like Shashi Tharoor references it in the book. And I think he has his own version or something about it. But then I took that from the book and I made it into like my own version about it because it sticks with Kala Pani and the theme. And the verses in Kala Pani have been completely rewritten. Like the first thing, like sorry, not the first verse. The first verse is, of course, talks about the political situation and stuff, like how they looted us and all that. And the second one is more about freeing your mind. So the song, it has both the themes. It has the theme from the album and it has the theme from the visuals. So there's like two sides of that song. Like if you hear the verses, they're not thematically consistent. But it's cool, but it still comes together. Like it's cohesive, like when it takes you to that whole journey. That's how it is.
Visually, my favorite part from the film is when before the Indus Valley scene, you see the painting, no, at the end. So the person sees the painting and then it goes to the Indus Valley scene. And then there's like a part where there's like a background music going. So what I wanted to know, did you have that background music before the visuals or was it after?
No, it was after. That was HHB. That was HHB. He scored the whole last section. and he's made this into this whole epic like saga beginning and all that stuff, which was like amazing to see. He's a killer at that. So like that whole saga thing, that's why the sounds are like it's building up, and that's the impact of the last, because the last that scene is the key to the entire like album. That's how like, okay, the bees are related to Kala Pani, and that's what Kala Pani is, and that's what's been drinking around this in the whole movie and all that stuff. And then that's the loop that connects it all. So we needed that part to have that much impact, and it does. Like it does give you that whole like, oh shit, this is what it's about. Like that's the moment that when people also see it, when they experience it, they'll get it, and they'll have to, when they watch it again, they'll get like, oh shit, this is why the bee stinging you, that's waking you up and all that stuff. So a lot of things are also unexplained, but I have like concepts for the next one to basically explain all of those things, but then it gives you the entire picture without spoiling anything.
Correct. And you did actually announce the next one as well, no?
I did announce it, but not publicly. Not like, hey, this is happening or whatever, but very slightly here and there. I have spoken about it like on an Instagram caption and all that stuff. But I do have a concept for the next one.
You already started working on it?
No. You just have the building up. Yeah, it's building up. Like I have some scenes which are like already I know what it's gonna look like. I know what's gonna happen. But I don't have like, I have parts from the beginning, middle and end, but I don't have the entire like thread that ties this whole thing together. But the next one, I'm hoping like, if things work out well, I get like a sponsorship or something that happens where I can create it, because it's going to be bigger. I don't want it to be like a 25-minute thing. Like I want it to be like an hour thing or 40 minutes to an hour thing. Animated only. And hopefully with the same teams that I've worked with, Zeng and Gumblue.
Because they've done an incredible job as well with this one.
These guys are like killers. They know what each section requires. And like I especially like, both of them, but then there's something special about the black and white, because the way that I was thinking about the entire album when I started creating it, visually was a black and white, very rough, very raw and rugged thing, and then it just takes you to that journey, and then it throws you to this whole color palette, like it's expanding, and you're literally you're seeing the fucking thing happen. So it's basically, it's a metaphor for like you also taking part in the movie itself. So
with the black and white as well, was it because you wanted it to be like raw in a way, and like
like I wanted, like the first few photos that I have were created by Art Monkey as a storyboard, and in fact I didn't, like when I started out, I was just gonna have this as a static image, like a how they have these how do you call it, like a comic strip being read, it's called what, something comic, like visual comic read or something.
I know what you mean though.
Only the static images are there, and you'll see some things pop up, and dialogues will happen,
or text and stuff coming.
Exactly. And the this thing will be there. There'll be no animation. It'll be just frames on frames on frames. And when he started drawing it at the start, it was looking really cool, because he has this style where he makes charcoal. He makes it through a charcoal thing, and we had this we had the resolution set, so it's widescreen. So you're seeing this whole black and white thing, and you're seeing frames from this whole story develop. I was like, bro, this is like, I need to spend more time on it so that I can actually visualize it and have even if it's the least animation possible, it has to come alive in some way. It has to pull you in some way, because where it's going is going to be bigger than just like storyboards. But then the storyboard was a heavy inspiration. Like I sent that to the Gumblue team. I said, hey, look, this is the aesthetic that we are trying to do. So they adapted that in their own way. And those three guys, they just like made that stuff, and like surprisingly the red eye part, it came way later. Like they made the whole thing, and then I was like, you know what, like give everybody red eyes, because that's what I want right now, because that's the thing that when he's drinking the Kala Pani, that disappears and all that stuff. So I was like, we should have something signifying like this is why red eyes are there, because they're all seeing that same black and white world. So that's where that whole thing came from. But this black and white was like amazing to work with.
And it looks amazing as well, like with the red eyes, and then you drink the drink. But all those small things as well, I think a lot of time when you're watching the movie as well, you got a lot of questions.
Yeah.
And that's why the part I was talking to you about with the music, it feels so good because, especially with the music.
Yeah.
And
the end part, you mean?
End part. And visually as well. And then you start explaining.
Yeah.
And then it's like, you know, in storytelling, it's like act 1, act 2, to act 3.
Yeah.
That's pretty much act 3. You're getting rewarded for what you were kind of waiting for now in that part.
Yeah.
So I think that's why I feel that part would have been something that would have hit home with a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because of that.
Yeah, it did. Like, even when I'm playing the album live or something, like the visuals live, like they reach that part and they're like, oh shit, like fuck, what's happening? Like, this is what it's about, like, you know?
Yeah.
So that part, it is my favorite part, like it's one of my favorite parts.
But when you're writing as well, do you actually think it in that way? Like, okay, I have to make it in that, like that's the structure I want to keep it at, or you just keep it, you'll just let it flow and then you'll see where
actually that's what happened. Like it instinctively, like the album was supposed to end at like Kala Pani and he's waking up and all that stuff. So I didn't have a origin story for Kala Pani yet. Like and then I thought, like, you know what, like once as we create the second half of the album, it's getting more clearer. Like we need to tie this in somehow where it's like you give so much prominence that nobody knows where it's from, but it's still happening. And that like ending, I was like in 2023, I think I was watching this, Attack on Titan. So they did this thing where it's like at the end, there's this origin story for how these guys became these Titans and all that stuff. And there's this, they connect it to a underwater creature basically, and they don't say anything about the creature. They just say there's a creature. And I was like, but the point of the story is not that creature happened to exist and there are Titans and all. The point is the emotional connection across the story.
Correct.
Like you'll get tied up with so many characters, you'll like experience the whole story as it goes, and then they'll flip the narrative on its head when they, like if you watched it, like they go to another island and then there's this whole, you'll see the other side of things, and then after that you'll see the origin story of that, but the origin story doesn't matter because what's happening is they'll connect this whole emotional journey. So I really love that, and I was like, like some things, if you want to explain it, because there's no origin story in real life.
Correct.
So you can just actually use that as a tool basically, and you can create one. So when the bees happened and when this whole thing happened, was like the last part was something that took over the whole entire process, the whole thing, from the bees biting me at the start and all that. So there's been revisions even in between. Like it was not linear. Like there was some points where I was like, stop working on this right now. And like sometimes it was like, oh shit, am I pushing it too late? Am I pushing it this one? But I was like, no, this can't happen without this happening because I know what's gonna happen next. So the parts that fit in came in like not linearly. It came in like what happens here affects something over here, and what happens there then affects something there. So you need to have that build up, and that's why like you'll see like the cohesion right now is because of this, inserting here, taking some stuff from here, putting it there, putting on. So it's a good like puzzle to solve, in the storytelling way. Like and that was one of the best experiences for me.
And I feel that is actually a good way to do it as well, because you're revisiting the story as you're writing it, going back, and then that's how you're probably writing better stuff for the future, So
exactly.
So also with because Chalega came in 2016.
Yes.
16, 17, and 17, And then Juari, one task came in like 18, 19.
18, 19,
So you were already working on Kala Pani, no?
Yeah.
By then.
Yeah.
And then you started, and then you dropped Green Heart Astronaut.
Yes, 2020.
Were you working on that before that, or?
No.
So you started...
Green Heart Astronaut.
Yeah.
No, Green Heart Astronaut was 2020, 2021.
Oh, so you...
Yeah, 1 year.
Achha,
one year. I think 2019 end was when I recorded Breathe. And Breathe was... Like, as soon as I finished doing Breathe, 3 months later the pandemic hit. And then I was like, bro, I made a song called Breathe, and this pandemic is about the COVID-19 virus and the lungs and all that stuff. And I was like, bro, this like resonates. And I was like, and at that time as well, I was in a situation where I was feeling like all of us, like we were feeling like trapped and shit. And I was like into this whole escapist whatever mindset. And so I felt very trapped, and I was writing songs, and these songs started coming to me, and then like I just went through this whole rabbit hole again, where I grew up watching like space documentaries, and I loved space, like things about space exploration, and whatever it is, like physics, science, and all that stuff. Like I love watching it. Like I love understanding, not the nitty-gritties, of course. Like I'm not a physicist or whatever, but I love the concepts. I love the ideas around them. And like I've been a sci-fi like fan forever, basically. So like I was revisiting that, and that's where Green Heart Astronaut came to take place. And from 2017 to 2019 end, I had like 6 or 7 songs of Kala Pani ready. Like they were already ready, and there was a few beats that were being rearranged here and there by HHB. But then for 2020, I just put it on hold. I was like, like I wanted it to. In fact, 2020 was supposed to be the release of Kala Pani.
Oh, okay.
I wanted it to be a live experience, like the same thing, like live.
So that's why you were like, because you can't do live anymore.
I can't do live anymore.
There's no point of putting it
So
out.
I was like, I'll work with this, and even Green Heart Astronaut was like visually a storytelling thing, not as good, but then I still wanted to explore that side of me, because I do like creating stories, like that's something that sticks by me since childhood, basically. So that's why Green Heart Astronaut happened, and Dikshant was the guy who worked on the animation for that. And like it did look cool for the time and all that stuff, and for the budget, of course, especially. But that was an experience that taught me a lot, and that took what I learned from there with Kala Pani, and lots of real life like situations also happened which inspired some of the scenes in Kala Pani. So that was like the whole process of stopping something in the middle, not worrying about what's going to happen with that, starting something new, learning something from there, then restarting and then applying what you learned. Like it's all connected, like in some way. So I felt like that's what I meant. Like when 2023, 24, as soon as the visuals started happening, that's when I really felt it. Like this thing just wants to create itself. So let me just like flow with it and not think about it so much. And 2025 basically we wanted to release it, so we did it.
Good. Nice. So those 6-7 songs that you're talking about that were ready as well by 2018, 2019. How many of those songs actually made it to the album?
All of them. Like 10 songs were like 10 beats.
All those beats,
beats
originals.
Were they are original from 2017, 18, 19, 20. So these 4 years the beats were already there. Like there was this chronology was there. Like we never added something new in 2022 or 3 or 4. So it was always, this was the 10 songs. Sorry, this is the 9 songs. One song extra, which is Blessings and Waves by Shinji and Manani.
That's the last one, no?
The last one, yes. That was the only song that I felt like it fit like this whole end credit, ending sequence where you're like listening to all of this stuff and then it's just like a refresh. So that's the only song that came in, I think, 2021 or 2.
Oh, so even that was in 2021, 2022? So after that
After that, nothing. It's all rewriting and remaking some parts of the beats. Some parts of the beats, select parts. Everything else was 2018, 19, max 2018, 19, 20.
Okay. I actually thought maybe the first half was more like you did it like later on. But that was made before as well.
The first half was mostly 2019 max. 2019, 20 max.
For me, like how I was saying, Phone Go Bling is one of the songs I like, or Kala Pani is another. I even like the one with Encore, which is
Krantikari.
Krantikari is good as well. Which are like your favorite songs from the album?
Number 1 for me, it's Dharam Brushed. Dharam Brushed is one of my favorite songs.
That comes after Krantikari, no? I think.
No. That comes after Nafrat Hai.
Achha, yes.
Nafrat Hai.
Nafrat Hai is also a very good song.
So Dharam Brushed is there, Kala Pani is there. Nafrat Hai also. I like the second half more.
Oh, you like
second half, like Kala Pani is there, Phone Go Bling. And what would my fifth one? I like Lit actually.
That's like Lit. It's a good start to the album.
Lit, exactly. It's very catchy. It's you have ear candy like in the start, so it's pretty cool.
That's the first song that you made me hear as well. When I heard it last year, and when you played that, I was like, wow, that's like I wasn't expecting that.
From exactly. You and when you when you want to listen to that album start to end, you won't expect like where the album will take you based on the first song. It'll just take you and leave you somewhere else. But this is the entry point to it, which is good. It's good.
I really liked a lot of like sonic choices that you did as well, because like sonically, like how you're saying, the album takes you to different places. Which is also in a way what one of your messages is as well, that people just are being taken. Like they're not even, or like with Chalega.
Yeah.
Like that whole song.
Yeah, it's random.
It's random.
It's
so
super
random.
Yeah.
So when you dropped it as a single, I was
Yeah.
thinking, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
what is this?
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
But in the world of Kala Pani,
Yeah.
it makes sense.
It
then.
makes sense.
You know, when you
Exactly.
listen to it in
Exactly.
that. So like, how much were you like making sure that even sonically you need to add these elements to fit into the world of
You mean, how do you mean, like beat-wise or like lyrics-wise or like...
beat-wise,
Beat-wise?
sonically, like.
Can you repeat that question?
So like with sonically, were you guys being really specific with each song, what the theme is, and adding elements to kind of fit that theme, or not really?
So when we started out, we
Yeah.
were being a little bit more specific with
Yeah.
it. But then after the pandemic, when we started recreating, I just trusted HHB to do his thing.
Okay.
And he took it and he made it into something like, better, like an evolved version of it. A newer sound, you might say.
Yeah.
And that was something that I felt like, yeah, this was cool. This is cool for the album, and
Yeah.
it fits still.
Yeah.
It has a new context to it, but it still fits the theme. So yeah, like for the beat works, the second half definitely, like not just the second half, but then yeah, phone go bling, you
Yeah.
can say all of those things. The new stuff that you're hearing is all HHB's, process come to life and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah,
He's such a good producer.
he is.
I
man.
feel
He
like
is
he needs
one
to
of the
just,
best talented. Yeah.
Yeah, but he just needs to like
Yeah.
put more stuff out
He does,
because he's
he does.
so talented. But
Yeah.
when he puts out things,
Yeah, I've heard his like unreleased stuff and all that
yeah.
stuff. He has like EPs and
nice.
mixtapes and stuff. He has some really good stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know when he's dropping it, but
Yeah. What's happening? What's happening with your EP Karma? It's
Karma
still-
is out. Karma is out.
No, but is it out on Spotify? and
No,
stuff?
it's not on
Yeah, it's
Spotify.
not. But is it on YouTube?
It's on SoundCloud. It's on SoundCloud, and it's on some. Bro, the thing with Karma was that I was trying to, like, I went to this digital service provider and I put the song, and apparently it didn't, release in all the platforms. And I was like, what the hell is going on? Like, I took the pro version of this fucking DSP and they're not like pushing my songs out there, and this is very strange. The first time I experienced it, because I didn't want to give like 30% of my royalties to a distributor for like just putting my songs out there.
Yeah.
So that whole process went mad, like it went like crazy, and then I lost a spot on this Apple editorial spot because of this fuck up. And so now it's like, with Kala Pani as well, it was going good, but then there's always a few hurdles for DSPs. I'm trying to get through that hurdle, trying to find out a very good DSP that will allow me to do what I have to do at the time frame that I want to do it. So yeah, with Karma, that was also 2023. That was 1 year. 1 year of work basically. Not just 1 year, like maybe 8 months, 9 months of work. We had the beats already. That was also, in fact, Karma predates Kala Pani.
Oh, okay.
The plan was always to drop Karma before Kala Pani, and that plan was existent in like 2016-17 when we were making the songs. So it's again the same cycle happened with Karma. I just put it out there as like a small EP, and there are issues with DSPs. I'm trying to figure out the whole backend for that again. It'll be released.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do have to figure all of those stuff out.
That's such a good EP, man.
Yeah, thank you.
I loved it. Like,
thank you.
For me, before Kala Pani, that was your best work. I loved it. So you made that all those songs before 2016.
Yeah, those beats were so, except for 2 songs.
Yeah. It's got like 5 or 6 now.
It's got 5 songs, except for 2 songs that didn't exist earlier.
Yeah.
We made the beats for 3 songs. It was supposed to be a 3-song EP in I think 2015 or 16, and we had this plan that okay, by 2018 or 19 we'll drop that, and then next year after that we'll drop Kala Pani. So, but that didn't work out. So, but then I was like, after Green Heart Astronaut, I just was in this shelf, like I was looking at the shelf, like, what's there, what can we do, and what's the next move, and I was like, let's clear out everything in the shelf, because like I want to get this done with. I don't want it in my mind, I don't want it in, just piles up, so I was like, let's do Karma first, because let's stick to the plan and all that stuff. So I think in 2023 we took the beats off the shelf, we like recreated everything basically. He added 2 new songs to it, and then it just flows from there to how it is, and it's all English mostly. For the most part. So Yeah, I mean, not many people have heard Karma.
Yeah, they haven't. But that's the thing, because it's not out there, you know, like it's on, even like if now people listening to Kala Pani and they want to see it, like it's not there.
It's not there.
Culture is there. I think Culture EP
No,
is
yeah,
there.
it is there. Same thing with Culture as well, bro. Like, with Culture was a different, completely different.
That was 2024, no? Culture was.
23.
Was it? No, it was after Karma, no? Or maybe it was before.
It was, no, Karma was earlier in 2023 and Culture was later in 2023.
Yeah.
But same thing, my DSP scenes are kind of fucked.
Yeah.
I need to figure that out. I will be figuring that out. But yeah, but same. But with Culture is it was basically me and Einstein chilling a 3-day sprint.
Yeah.
And he was making the beats and I was writing to it in real time.
Crazy.
And we just finished those songs, like 4 songs, and yeah, that was what we put it out there. I think it's there in, Culture is there in all.
Yeah, Culture is there.
Yeah,
Culture is
DSPs,
on
right?
Spotify and everywhere.
Yeah,
It is there.
Culture is there.
Culture is there. But Karma, I was lucky enough, I heard it when it was there.
Yeah, Karma, I'm gonna put it out again. Like,
but when I tell anyone as well, like, have you heard that? Like, a lot of people haven't.
They haven't.
Because they missed it when it kind of dropped. And then
it's on, I think it's on my SoundCloud as well. I really like the writing on Karma, and I was like, this. So, you know, that's the whole process behind like my writing now.
Yeah.
It's like, it's definitely evolving.
Yeah.
And the songs that I am looking forward to do is going to be completely different from stuff that I've done before. But, and even the release schedule is going to change. Like, we will have singles, we will have EPs, like with the band and all that stuff. So my whole focus right now is to take all of these learnings from the writings and stuff and have new versions like of my own writing, like evolving in that sense as well, and not just writing, even performing, even singing, even like a lot of things, you know, expanding what I can do as an artist, you know. So that's something that I'm really looking forward to. Plus, I've also started producing.
Yes, so you did tell me you had started producing.
So I've also started producing, and I have this project that I'm only reproducing. Like, I have this project that I want to do for myself.
Okay.
It's called Nauka. Nauka means boat. So it's a laid back, chill vibe, and I'm just like learning how to, you know, build the bricks to make this project whatever happens. So even that is, I have something good planned for that as well. Not visually, but like another way. You know?
That's going to be more like an EP? Or?
Yeah, no, that's a surprise actually.
Okay.
That's a surprise actually.
Okay.
I can't reveal how it's going to be put out.
Yeah.
But it won't be put out like normally. You won't hear it anywhere.
I feel with your project, you never put something just normally like that.
Yeah, like there are some, like with the band I will. It will be like a single release, like we want to create the community around the band as well.
Okay.
Like, because I feel like right now is a very good time to reconnect with those sounds, and there are people across both generations that love that sound. The Gen Z and the Gen Alphas and the millennials and you know till the boomers as well, like they do like that sound. Like, I see them at shows everywhere, all kinds of people, and it's two worlds, and Bombay is exactly that. We had metal before we had hip hop, and now we have hip hop, and now there's a resurrection of metal and all that stuff going on. So I feel, and even me growing up, you know, I was like, my cousin brother was in a metal band. He was in 2 metal bands, like pioneering black metal bands, called Infinite Redemption and Stark Denial, like in Bombay. And I used to watch them at shows, like go there live and all that stuff. And then the college that I was in, they also had this whole power chords situation going on, which was the fest. And there were so many bands that I seen growing up and all that stuff, and it was really cool. Like, there are very, there's so many similar things between metal and hip hop. And when we merge the two in a good way, like, I'm sure it makes sense to do it. So that's why a lot of my efforts are also going there. But at the same time, I'm not leaving my roots to, I do want to make, when I'm producing what I'm producing with the whole Nauka thing, it's like, I want to make sure like I stick to my essence as well. So, so I'm in the process of discovering different sides of me, so it's like that.
Even like you as an artist, I feel you've evolved a lot, and your writing, especially in Hindi, has improved a lot. So have you been reading a lot of Hindi stuff, or like how have you like improved? And also the second question I want to ask is, you're one of the best like battle rappers we have. But the only problem sometimes I've had like with some battle rappers, not taking any names, but like some battle rappers, they're really good at it. But it doesn't translate to be good, like they can't make like good compositions or like a song, you know,
I know
what I mean? Like the lyrics would be amazing.
Yeah.
So how did you work on that from being just like a battle rapper and then becoming this artist who's creating these sonics and all of that stuff?
Yeah, so I'll just like answer the Hindi thing. The Hindi situation is like, when I started out, I was not as strong in Hindi.
Yeah.
But then I kept like writing and, you know, trying to find out, I kept like practicing basically. And I used to do this thing called Moksh tape where I used to take like, it also had animated videos, by the way. It's not there on YouTube anymore, but I'll send you a link. It's an unlisted project where Dikshant, the guy who worked on Green Heart Astronaut, he made the visuals to it like how Joyner Lucas used to do those animated like talking, just lip sync kind of a thing. So he made those kind of videos and I used to cover Indian hip hop, not cover, like remix Indian hip hop beats. Like, so there were beats from like what Gravity did to what Badshah did and all those stuff, and I used to make like songs like kind of like the mixtape era where Lil Wayne used to do all of those things. So basically that. And as I was writing those things, I was getting better at it, and I did that for like, I think I had 2 or 3 renditions of those kind of EPs and all those mixtapes, basically all those things. And as I kept doing that, when I hit Green Heart Astronaut, when I wrote the song Saw Kadam Upar, that's when I realized like, now I've hit this flow state with this language and I can actually write now. Like, you know, that song just, again, like, you know, it's very like difficult to describe how it's my favorite Hindi song of mine.
That's my favorite song from that album as well.
From the album, exactly.
And I feel it like captures the essence of the album perfectly. I think one song, if someone has to listen to know that album, that
exactly, it is the song. It is the song.
That's the song.
Same, like for me, like the best Hindi stuff I've written is Dharam Brushed and Saw Kadam Upar. These 2 songs are my best Hindi verses. And just looking at, you know, how I was able to write that and how I learned it, that's what made it like so complete for me. And I had confidence like, now I can like fucking, you know, rap in Hindi and have it in my own style and not, you know, try to copy what's going on and all that stuff. So that's where I started exploring more of Hindi stuff and all that stuff. Nauka will have a lot of Hindi stuff. Like there's a lot of Hindi stuff in that. So all of those things translate as you keep moving. And man, I feel like once you sit down and actually write down stuff and hit a flow state with like one song, then that's the learning you need. Like that's the feedback. You need to have a good feedback mechanism for yourself, like before anybody from the world tells you. So just keep doing it, you know. Just practice in the sense of like have direction where you're going, and that's what I did with these songs especially. So that is the Hindi stuff. Now coming to the battle rap thing, I get where it's coming from, but there are some battle rappers who also make great music. But then when you're talking about the composition thing, that's where I was getting at with the whole, you know, journey of mine, where I love writing hooks. Like I like writing choruses and I don't know, like a lot of my choruses throughout the years were like melodic and sing-songy. So even some of the verses were sing-songy and all of that stuff, and that's where I realized like like, you know, I kept myself like the poetic you know, element of mine was always linked to anything I do, like be it melodic stuff or be it like rapidy rap stuff. Like Saw Kadam Upar is a good example. It's all a melodic song, but it's still rap. You know, in terms of like the flow, basically. But then it is a song, you know. So that's one thing that for me I stick close to because I like doing it, you know, and surprisingly like it translates well to songs as well. And then for the battle stuff, like the writing is completely different, the preparation is different, the mindset is different. It's fucking insane if you have to go to battle, because a battle takes so much out of you, bro. Like it'll take you to dark places, like in your mind, you know. And if you're not, you know, if you don't have an album or something going on, then you can at least have your mindset over there. But if you have something like an album going on and you need to write to those kind of things and also adapt to rap battles, it's a very tricky situation to walk. So you need to really focus and give time to your battle rap versus your other, like, you know, writing stuff, because a battle rap it's like life or death, bro. Like if you, like as a poet, you know, as a poet. So and I always want to give my best to like battle rap as well, because I love the culture. I love the art of lyricism. Like that's where I started off at. That's what I've been known for. And that's like my whole life has been perfecting my lyrics. Not perfecting, but like sharpening it and staying true to what I want to say and what I want to spit and what I want to write. So yeah, battle rap is a huge part of me, and with B3, that's what we want to do, like, you know, bring it back to life, like, basically.
It was like such a huge part for so many artists as well back in the day, because that's where they kind of, you know, learn their skills and all of that stuff. So it's crazy once it comes back.
Man.
It's gonna be
like Indian hip hop started because of battle rap.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
exactly. Yeah.
Like, and there are still people who are in that, like, you know, battle rap zone. They're also making music. Yeah, and like, I don't know, like, people don't explore their voice too much when they're too concerned about battle rap, I feel like. I don't know. But then there are some artists who break free from battle rap for a while, then they go explore something musically, then they learn something, you know, in their composition, in their sound. Then they make some songs like that. Then, but when they have to return to battle rap, they have their own technique. They have their own method to come back to it, you know. For me, it's a different technique. For them, it'll be a different technique. But people learn bits and pieces. But I do get it, like, you know, I agree with you where it's like, not all battle rappers, you know, when they make music, they don't think about it as much. Which is fine. Which is fine. Like, you know, but like, I would love to see a lot more, I would love to see a lot more artists come and battle.
Yes.
You know?
But I feel, but the thing is, with battle rap, you know, like how you were saying it's life or death. The thing is, you're performing in front of an audience. You're getting the reaction straight away. And you're getting a good reaction, it might, you know, give you a big boost, but then you get a bad, and you're like, it's such a mental, like, you have to be mentally really tough to be able to. So I think a lot of artists like studio artists, they can't do that.
They can't do that.
They won't be able to do that. That's why I think they don't come and, you know, they battle as well.
And also, like, they might not have the lyrics for it. Like,
exactly.
Like, you know, they might not be, they might be the best in the songs, but then when it comes to a battle, you can't just rely on something like that for those kind of levels. Because there are people who write like killer shit. It's a land of the killers, basically. So you have to walk that path like very thinly, basically. But it is a thing. And but I would like more artists because I know they can write.
Correct.
You know, so in the future we do want to have, like, for B3 especially, we do want to have more artists invited. And even if it's like fun stuff, like, you know, chilling and you know, even if it's simple lyrics versus simple lyrics, you know, have the impact that, like, people can see them and understand, like, oh, we can actually write like this as well. There's a whole subculture going which is based on writing stuff, you know. So I would love to see that happen. Like, it would be a cool thing, because that's when you understand, like, an artist's ego, like, dissolves. Because if you enter a battle, you can't have an ego about you, because your opponent is going to take that away anyway. So you have to dissolve yourself and then enter. Otherwise you lose, basically. You know, so you have to be ready for your flaws before you try to attack somebody else. So you have to accept that. Like, and people don't want to accept that. They don't want to accept that, you know, they're not the best at what they are, like, the best is also just a word, bro. It's just a concept. They just don't want to accept that somebody can taunt them or diss them and you know, say they're better than them in terms of lyrics or whatever, and they don't want to see that happen. And it hurts their image, you know, whatever image that is, and they want to preserve that much. And that's what I feel like the problem with a lot of artists are, like, they are not ready to be vulnerable in that sense, in the sense of, like, you can be vulnerable songs, of course, but even if you are interested in this, you should try it out, you know. People should try it out.
It's a skill set that, like, as an artist, as a rapper, you should you know, work on as well. Even if you're not good at it, like, it's something you should work on. It's just gonna make your songwriting or whatever better as well, you know? But even, like, you know, in the scene, in the rap scene, it's all about I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best. When we spoke for the first time as well, I told you the first thing I remember of you, like, when you dropped Greatness as well, it wasn't I want to be the best. It was I want to be great. I'm going for greatness. Which I feel, if more artists start looking at art and them as artists in that way, that I just want to be great. Doesn't matter if I'm the biggest, I'm the best. Like, as long as I'm great to what, like, I want to do, that's what you should be, like, pursuing for, right?
Exactly.
And you've been doing that since, like, the start, you know, like, you started that way.
Man.
With Greatness as well, is it going to come on DSPs and stuff?
There are like 5 songs from Greatness that's on SoundCloud. I have some shit on SoundCloud.
You've
like,
got some.
For some reason, I just keep uploading there. There's no other, like, there's even a, like, secret mixtape in SoundCloud. Like, there's a mixtape that I did to Dorian X Beats. So Dorian X has some killer beats.
I think I've heard that. When I was like...
When Kings Kill Peasants, that's the one.
I've heard that.
Yeah, there's like some stuff in SoundCloud.
Yeah.
I want to like... That's what I'm working on, especially this year, because I realized like my catalog is dispersed. It might be heavy in whatever lyrics or music and whatever, it might be good, but it's dispersed. Like it's not accessible as much. So I need to not do that. Like, you know, I need to make sure like different sides of... And I feel like this is something that artists naturally learn. And like even if they're starting out or even if they're like years ahead of me or whatever, they like learn to assemble things in their own way and their own time. So for me, this whole year is going to be about structuring, because I want to make sure that it's, you know, it's easy for one person to hear of me, then hear about me, and then hear my songs, and then follow or whatever, engage with me basically, connect with me basically.
Yeah, exactly.
And that funnel for me is not clear. It wasn't clear this while, but now it is getting clear as I want to do what I want to do, because now I know from here where I'm going. You know, so if that path is clear, I just need to define the middle. It's just that middle funnel that I feel like is my biggest problem right now. I want to solve that by like March or April this year.
Okay.
And that's what I've been working on as well. So like there are some songs that people might not have heard, which I can use in different ways, which I can rap in different ways. So I'm trying to do that. Even the small things I need to sweat about are like, you know, how now that I have this whole like a design, like an aesthetic about the music, I like, and I connect to it as well, and it's very like sci-fi, future forward and all of those things, and I have those colors as well, and I want to like everywhere they go, they will see those colors about it, and they will see those kind of aesthetic and all that stuff. So I'm taking care of the small things as well. Like, you know, I have all this whole thing in mind. It's not just going to be like, okay, just upload the songs. Like, it has to look and feel like it's a part of Poetik Justis music.
Correct.
And the world of Poetik Justis and all of those things. So there's like some plans around that as well.
Oh, nice.
You know, because there's already a world. You just need to like continue and, you know, have different sides of the same thing, you know, appear more basically. So I've been working on that as well.
Even with your, like, with the album, The Saviors, they've got the mask, and then you had it.
Exactly.
Was that mask made at the start, or did you later? Later on.
This mask was made, I think, 2 months before the album.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 2 months before the album. There's this guy called Metal Bender.
Okay.
He's like an insane cosplay genius basically. He makes like, he's won a lot of cosplay competitions, and now he's on the judging panel of like Comic-Con and all that stuff.
Oh, crazy.
And he's done for Dubai, he's done for like India, he's done a lot of things. He's fucking amazing.
From Mumbai?
From Mumbai, and there's a girl, Rupal from Aesthetic Palette Studio. So they both, you know, he referred me to her, and she's like, she makes prosthetics for like movies and Netflix and all those things. So this Aesthetic Palette Studio, they made the mask, and like we had this whole face scan, like the whole band had the face scan. So the mask will fit only the members, like that's the thing. And the lights were by like, I think it was by Metal Bender, but we had it by design. Like we wanted to design it in that kind of way. And it just like, when we saw the footage like for the first time, it was like, bro, this is an experience, like, you know. And that's what we want to give to the world, right? Like we are trying to bring it back, and we are trying to do the whole Kala Pani as a set, as a recorded set this time, you know.
Nice.
So we are working on it. Like we still have ways to go, because we need to finish the songs first in the recreated way, the new way. So we're gonna experience, you know, Kala Pani as an EP, but a new EP, like a new metal EP basically.
Oh, nice.
So that's what we're working on basically, as No Future. And we want to present it also in a very cool way, you know. So that's something that we are looking forward to do. So yeah, I mean, that's one thing that really helped. Like the mask really got us in the zone. Like when I remember the first time we saw it and we tried it on in the jam room, like there was a different energy. It was like, this is like, we're getting there, you know, like it's raging, it's really cool. That's the whole point for me for like, you know, making music. I don't want to, like I've done the bullshit before. Like I have made music just to make music, you know, and I've tried to fit in. And I didn't like it. Like it's inside me, inbuilt inside of me. Like I'm very contrarian by nature. I don't like, you know, a lot of things in society. Like I'm also like kind of like a loner / anti-social kind of vibe. I vibe with very few people. And that just reflects in my music, because I feel like music for me is that channel to like all the things that happen in my life and all that stuff, just channeling into the art itself. And since like when I observed it, made me realize a lot of these things where even if you look at greatness, like you might not know this, but there was this. I had 10 tracks on greatness as well, and each track had a individual artwork.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So there was like an individual artwork for each of these songs, and all of them Dikshant made. I think in 2015.
So you guys go like way back.
Yeah, we go way back. Dikshant is an amazing person, man. Like, he's really helpful. And he's really talented as well, and he does a lot of stuff. And as a person as well, he's really sweet and kind, man. Like that, the first person I ever worked with graphically, apart from Ontorip is also an amazing person. But then, like in like this kind of a format was Dikshant. So he did the cover art for Greatness, and everything was animated. So from that time itself, I was like into this visually appealing as well as sonically present, vibe. So these two things, I didn't notice it until it hit Kala Pani. Like this was the first time that I scanned all across this thing. So all of the things that I do, like most things that I do, it has a visual thing connected to it as well. Because I do believe the presentation also matters.
It does.
And packaging matters and all of those things. And I've been doing that. I like in an alternate universe, I'm pretty sure I'm like a graphic guy, like some kind of a graphic designer or something. So, because I've always been attracted to art. Like I love art. Like it speaks to me. And man, like art and storytelling, like these two things for me is hand in hand. And everything else is like this rapping and rhyming is just the medium. It's just the collation of these two things. So that's what Kala Pani made me realize this whole thing.
And I also realized the first time we spoke, you did say like I asked you how did you get into hip hop and rapping and stuff, and I think you were working on a book or something, no, when you were young.
Like a comic book. I had a comic book. I had comic books. So I had a lot of like action figures, man. Like I grew up like having a lot of action figures. Like I had bags full of like action figures in Doha. So I was like, okay, cool, and I used to like create stories. Like I remember vividly creating stories with all of these action figures and stuff. And then there was this whole like drawing phase, like literally just trying to draw some stuff. I was not any good at it, but then I was drawing stuff, and then one of my friends were like, yeah, we should just create something. And then I created this whole comic. I forgot what the fucking guy was called, but it was some kind of a comic. Had like 5 pages stapled together with panels and all that stuff. It was crazy. So I wish I had that. I wish I could look back. Nice. It would have been a good thing. I wanted to know what the fuck was that. I can't remember much of it because it was that I was that young. But it would be amazing to check out what that was again. But I'll check it out later. Let's see.
But I think from the start, like your visual game has been good. Like I remember also you used to do like new metal version of your song. There's this one song where you did like there's a guitarist playing.
That's Sujan. That's the guy.
That's the guy you're talking about.
That's the guy still in No Future, and we are still doing it.
So even back then, there weren't people making that kind of music in hip hop scene. So
in the hip hop scene, no.
In the hip hop scene, no. So I think you've always like kind of experimented and also you saying that you're like someone who's like a bit of a loner, no? I also feel that's the kind of people who go deep.
There's time to think.
You have time to think. You're sitting with your own thoughts and stuff. Because I feel I'm a bit similar as well. Like I don't gel with a lot of people. There are like 2 or 3 people in my life that I can actually talk. I don't like really share my things with people.
So same. I get it.
It's like people know me, but they don't really know me.
I feel like I've been tripping on a lot of this shit, bro. Like, there are people who are just built like that, and I feel like these people, like the vibe does like connect. Those frequencies do connect, and there is a like you like some kind of music because you can relate to it.
Correct.
And there's some parts of that music which are a part of you, and like you explore yourself as much as you explore the music, and you explore, like, as an artist, for me it is like that, like the kind of music I like is also very select and very this thing, and it helps me out at certain moments and all that stuff. Like without music I can't envision what I would be like, what the fuck would I be doing. I don't know. For me it's like right now, after the whole Kala Pani thing, after doing all what I want to do and all that stuff, I have to now figure out, like, okay, now there's more people on the boat, like, there's like the whole band thing going on, they have their own lives going on, they have their own things to do, and there's a very like balance that you have to strike, like the balance that with a band is like completely different. Like you can't, it's not hip hop anymore. It's
yeah.
not like our community. It is a community scene, but it's not in the sense of, because these are close knit people. Like these are very tied into what you also want to do. You know, so that balance has to come across. You know, it can't be like, the passion has to come across. Like we have to make sure that we are on the same page at all times. Otherwise, then there won't be a gel. You know, so that's what we are also, you know, trying to do with this whole band thing. And when we have some ideas to create the community and stuff, like we want to make sure like we are really expressing ourselves in the sense that a whole community can be built around it, and they can connect to what we want to say. You know, Kala Pani is just a start for that kind of a thing. So there's so much in terms of the band as well that's going on. So that's a huge part of the element. Like who you are also depends, you know, who the people around you will be, you know. And it's great that we all met and we gelled with the music first. You know, that's a very, like, I always have this thing where it's like basically the people who you know and who you meet are just like your thoughts existing as who you are, basically. So I'm in the process of becoming, you know, forever becoming. Like that's one thing that I'm trying to not chase, but then just flow with. Like, you know, I can't just, because I've done the forceful things. Like I've tried to force myself to do something or the other, but sometimes it's like you can't control anything. So
I think it's not in your control, right? It's like there are some things you just don't like doing. And you try them, and then you realize, okay, there's something I can't do.
Yeah, exactly.
Because even if it works, I don't think you can do it for a long time, you know?
You can't
because you're forcing yourself.
And even if you do it in a long time, after a while, you're only going to look back at yourself and you're not going to recognize who you are in the mirror. And you don't want to be there. Like you don't want to be lost to yourself. Like you want to find yourself, you know? So that's one thing that I've also always been in the loop of, like, oh, sometimes I have lost myself. Then I got back, and that when I found myself was when I found, like, okay, shit, like, fuck, I can do all of this. You know? So... And that's what makes it possible, man. Like, it's just about the mindset, and it's just about, you know, believing in yourself. That's a big thing for me. Like the believing and the self-love thing was a big thing for me. Like I wasn't able to do that like earlier. Like you know, it was this heavy mountain that I had to climb, and I'm still climbing. You know? So like believing that I'm capable of doing these things, like with the things that I'm doing right now. As much as I'm doing them and I'm getting better at them now it's like hitting me like, I can actually just do it. I don't need to be scared, or I don't need to fear anything apart from myself, you know, apart from my own, you know, reactions or my own whatever. So that's a big thing in my life right now. So that's one thing that, you know, I want to keep going. You know, I don't want to get disconnected from this place. You know, because I feel like now that Kala Pani was over, and whatever the expectations were of me, I might have fulfilled them, I might have not fulfilled them. But for me, like once I got this out of my system, I realized like, my whole like what do you say? I can see the evolution, you know, like the feedback system has grown. Like I can evolve, I can see that thing happening to me. And you know, touch wood, like I've been blessed to be in the situation where I was able to create this thing and put that out.
And also being an artist, like how you've been in the scene for what, 14, 15 years now?
15 easy.
15 years, 15, right?
16,
Like you're doing all the stuff you have to do. And then there's all these noises, you know, like and these are people who've probably never like created anything. So they don't understand things. Like they'll expect something without totally understanding how the process is, right?
Exactly.
Like also let's say about Kala Pani, for example. Like you've done that independently. First of all, people need to think about that. That's not done with a label backing you.
Exactly.
So whatever the animation, everything, it's done like independently without any team. But that's the thing I feel, which like I get annoyed by the most in the scene, is like a lot of people making comments without realizing what the whole process is. Like they've never made anything.
Yeah, exactly. And but like I can't blame them, because they're used to seeing the final product. Everybody is used to celebrating the final product or seeing the final product. They won't, I don't think anybody knows in any kind of art, like even if they make songs or whatever, what actually went across. There are some songs also by some artists that might have taken them 10 years to make. And why they won't understand, they will just see the song, they'll like it or not like it, and like I don't blame them. But I do get what you mean, where it's like you know, I was thinking about this, like nobody has done Kala Pani level scale of project. Like there's not one project.
No.
There's literally no project. This is the only project that you can experience in 3 different ways. In Indian music. In Indian music forever, basically. There's no project like Kala Pani. There are ideas about doing things like this. There were labels, might be big folks who want to create something like this, but it's never been done before. But that's not the point of me making the album, right? Making the visuals or whatever. This is something that I wanted to do with the album anyway. The major thing that I really want to do, apart from all of this, is of course perform the album more and more. But then I realized like the time that the album has hit was the most competitive time in Indian music history. You know, there's so much
stuff coming out.
There's so much by so many people, and people's attention span is just gone. It's gone. Like people cannot sitting with themselves. They can't just sit with like 2 minutes looking at a movie. They'll want to watch their phones. I do that. I have distraction issues as well. I'm trying to deal with those stuff as well. Like the whole ideas came from real life stuff, so I know what it feels like, you know. And so the time that you do stuff also matters. So now I've taken a step back from that as well, because if I have to be vulnerable and I have to present, I will like you said, I have to be real to myself. Like I can't. It's not me to fake myself anymore, or you know, try to just have because somebody's doing something I have to do it. So that's why I'm taking my time with it as well. So that's why all this whole structuring, while all of this is going on, I'm also trying to explore different parts of who I am as a human, like as a person. So a lot of things factor up to that, you know. It's like a tree that it just takes its own time to grow. You can't force anything. Like that's one thing I've learned. Like a lot of my even culture, I would say, is one of the projects that is just forced. It is forced, and it
because you did it like in a 3-day.
3-day thing, as a sprint to just see what I can do. Like anybody can do that. Like I can make 10-15 songs in like 2 weeks or whatever, and just put it out and say like that's an album, or that's a thing, that's a single or whatever, and that's what people are doing.
Which is happening in the scene.
It is happening.
You see like an album, it's got no concept. The sequencing, all over the place. You're like,
and the beats don't make sense, and nothing makes sense, and
there's no cohesion at all.
There's no cohesion.
It's more like a mixtape.
Yeah, exactly. Very few artists are putting thought into who they are and what they want to present. You know, what they represent, like core, truly who they are. You know, and all of the albums that I've done, EPs I've done, there are some that have been forced, like because I was just running and chasing, and there are some because that's all a learning, bro. One thing I realized that really hit me, apart from all of this, is like, you know, we are just artists. When you say the word artist in today's context, we are just people who are trying to figure something out. You know, we are just in the process of figuring out, and something happens, and you know, people come together, and then it grows into something that you might have not imagined it to grow. But then at the end of the day, like people are just people who are figuring it out. You know, like everybody has their own pace, they have their own style, they have their own journey. So like it doesn't really matter like you know, how you judge it, how you judge yourself via that thing. It just matters like what do you really want to do, like you know, where are you headed, do you really care about where you're headed and what you want to do, and if it's something that you want to create that's inside you, it'll give you a calling and all that stuff, and then it's on you to act on it basically. So that's my process for now, you know. After all this Kala Pani thing, like I've realized like this is something that I need to listen to intently with myself, because I feel like for me the purest creation comes when I start to listen to myself and nothing else, like nobody else. Like nobody can tell me shit about shit, bro, because that's the thing. Like even if I do want to get into like any label situation or any agency situation, I do want to have creative control over my stuff, because I know what I want to do, and what I want to do is going to be starkly different from a lot of people, everybody basically, because it's purely me, you know. So that's the thing I've been working on as well, like you know, like getting the best out of creation is my point. Like you know, if I can do this, doesn't like, I don't know, I would love to have it as a sustainable thing, like via the music, via brands and live and everything going on. But if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But I'm making sure that, you know, I go into the direction where it's like, this has to be seen and heard, and you know, because I feel like it does deliver a message, and I can't just like, I've been gatekeeping my own genius for a while. I realized that that's a flaw of me, and that's coming from all of these, you know, not being comfortable with like sharing, opening up and all those things. But I do want to change that about myself, because I feel like I have a lot of things more than music to offer the world.
Yeah.
Because I am a storyteller, you know. I do like writing, like making stories and presenting them and all that stuff. So that's something that it has to first, like I have to deal with that first. Like before I present myself, like I have to deal with those things, and I have to really understand like this is the person you are, you can do this and you can't do this, you know. So that's something that I'm looking forward to actually.
Yeah, and you've always been like a good like storyteller because you always do it like a visual audio experience. You always give people that, no matter even if it's an EP, it's an album and stuff. And talking about album and concepts now, like last year as well. Like I can easily say like top 3 was Kala Pani.
Thank you.
Natya Alapika by Shikriwal, like concept, and then Alif Laila was good by Farhan. Like these were my top 3 for like proper concept albums.
Proper.
And there were so many albums that were dropped, and there were so many albums which were dropped, and later on were called mixtapes because the artist realized that it's not good. I'm not like they were.
That happened. Like people dropped an album and called it a mixtape after that.
So it happened with.
That's funny.
Raval, it happened.
Oh damn!
So he dropped Sherdil and he was dropping it as an album.
Okay.
And then I remember that because I was doing the review of that album, mixtape, whatever.
Okay.
And then when I put the review out, I got to know that he's said it's a mixtape now.
It's a mixtape.
And I think also with Krishna, same thing happened. He dropped the album. It was an album because he had skits and stuff.
Okay.
But then he said it's a mixtape.
He said it's a mixtape after that.
He said it's a mixtape. He didn't say it was an album before.
Yeah.
But I feel he was putting it as an album when he was creating it.
Yeah.
And also in the scene, most artists are just talking about one thing.
Yeah.
When we have trillion things that we can talk about in this country, you know.
Yep.
And I'm glad that you spoke like about a lot of those things.
Yeah.
And you always like are doing that. But it would be nice to also see you talk about your
my own
story
stuff,
more.
Yeah, like that's the thing, you know. There's this what I'm seeing, like the way I view my music, like apart from greatness, in fact even with greatness, and
you're not a fan of greatness though, no?
No, I'm not. I'm not
it's also your first word. So
it is my first word. So I'm not a fan.
I actually like the promo of the great. Like the promo of greatness is pretty good. And I told you as well, I think the last bit is my favorite.
Yeah.
You're like 17-year-old and you're like, I started hip hop 3 years ago. That's a really good part.
Yeah, man. Like, greatness was a different experience as well. We had a website for greatness, and I remember like hosting. So there was one friend of mine, and he programmed the website in such a way where at that time you had to click on the link and you had to share the link to get the download link. It was only download, like you could only download the album. So
and this was in 2015, no?
Yeah, in 2015. And crazy. The website crashed the first day, first night. I remember that happening and people calling me up. I was like, okay, shit, I didn't expect this.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good. It was really good to see that happen. And yeah, I feel like with greatness and Green Heart Astronaut and Karma and Kala Pani as well, like you'll see a lot of these layers be like, it's going around poetic, like describing things around poetic justice, and also poetic justice in a very poetic, like cryptic kind of a way. But you never see to get the person. Like you'll never see poetic justice. You'll never see that.
Yeah.
And with the journey that I'm on right now, I feel like I should say that. And it's like it's a linear drop. It's like a funnel on top, and then you're going deeper and deeper and deeper, and it's narrowing down, and it's going to hit poetic, and then you expand it even further. So I feel like that is a natural progression that's just happening.
Yeah.
And I just see it like that. Like, I see it like it takes time for someone like me to, to open up, to like actually understand who I am and, how I connect with the world and all of those things. It took me a lot of time to get there, you know.
Yeah.
And in many ways, like I am a late bloomer in terms of like connecting with the world, because I still don't connect with the world. Like there's so many things that around me and the people around me, and I've never liked working in a cubicle with people around me. Like that's who I am. Like that's I don't know. Like the first job I had, I quit in like a year because I was into this whole philosophy rabbit hole, and I was listening to a lot of Alan Watts, and he says this thing about like, if money was not the issue, what would you do, and blah blah blah. And I just took that stuff like seriously, and I was like, I quit and all that stuff. Then we did the whole Bari Scene campaign, where we like raised money for the kids at the Dharavi school to buy shoes and all that stuff.
That you were doing with Slum Gods.
With Slum Gods, with Slum Gods. So we did that. then I ran out of money like real quick. But yeah, I had fun in that while. Then I stuck to some jobs. I was doing different jobs, man. I was like, I was doing like journalism, music journalism with Desi Hip Hop.
Yeah,
with Desi Hip Hop.
Yeah.
It was
I've read some of your articles as well. Back
thank
from
you.
Then.
Back then, I don't know what I wrote. Like I did write a lot of stuff. I did.
You did some reviews and stuff.
Yes, I did album reviews, and I did one of the best things I got experience learning with music journalism was covering like all sectors of India.
Yes.
Like the music coming out of all 5 sectors of India.
That's something
like
I'm gonna be working on because I've got like a list of artists I want to talk about from each sector, and that's something I want to put like a whole like a
it's a big campaign, bro. You should and
I'm spending my time with
exactly.
I'm doing that,
good, bro. Like that's what because there's so many right now. Though there's so many fucking
so much,
sounds, and at that time there weren't many sounds, but there were belts of sections where there were these fucking killer artists, and there still are like those artists. Like I was discovering them as I was writing them. I was like, bro, what the fuck is going on? Like this is gonna explode basically. And it was really cool to discover so many artists and write about them, and like that was the best thing about the whole Desi Pop situation and all that stuff.
You did that for a couple of years?
Yeah, a couple of years I did that. I was also like doing B3 at the time. We did B3. We did like we have like 6 events that we've done in B3, 6, 7 events basically that we've done, and like right now we are relaunching basically B3. From
it's gonna be tomorrow, no?
Yeah, tomorrow we have the workshop. Like fuck, it's our first ever workshop in all these years, and we're pretty excited for it. And we have something that we want to announce. I think by the time this comes out, it will
probably
going
to be announced already.
Probably going to be announced.
Even for me, tomorrow I'm gonna come for the workshop. No, it's gonna be my first like battle rap workshop that I'm gonna attend. So I'm excited about that as well.
Bro, it's insane. It's gonna be insane.
So you and EMF are doing that, no?
Yes. Me and EMF are doing this battle rap workshop where for Kala the art festival, which is like one of the biggest and most like from time this
I read about it after you told me, and then I was like saw it was like 25 years or 26 years.
It's been a while, and it's one of the most prestigious like art events. So Noxious had this whole entire set that he's also doing before our gig, before our workshop. So he also had an extra slot, so he plugged us in for that because we wanted to do something like workshop anyway.
Nice.
So we found this time and opportunity to do it. So we were like, this is a good platform to relaunch B3 on, because I feel like battle rap is amazing and people need to know more about it, and there's so many hungry battlers also, like how we had hungry musicians when I was writing about them. We have like battlers like right now developing. So we want to make sure that that is another structure that's being built, and there's so many leagues in India that are already present and doing it, which is amazing to see. Like Allegiance is there, Barfare is there, Asal Pune, there's a league over there. So like the culture is still there, it's still dominant. Spit Dope as well.
Spit Dope is still there as well.
So
now Sahaj is
Sahaj is like
running it now.
So like the culture is still alive and relevant, and we want to make sure like what we've contributed doesn't like just go to waste, because we want to make B3 like the hub of this battle rap shit, because it was
like we the first one, no?
First one.
Because Spit Dope came after 2 years or something.
2 years, yeah. But Spit Dope as well, like they took it to another level. It's really cool what they did with it, and they're still doing it. So there's so many avenues now.
And from B3 as well, there's so many artists who have kind of are doing well now. Like Shreyas who's there. EMF actually makes good songs as well. He doesn't drop that much, or he does. I think he does, but he does it on YouTube or something.
On YouTube,
But he makes good song. He used to have this spoof thing as well, no?
Garibi,
Garibi or something. That was
Bad Boy Bandya. That was his character.
That was
Bad Boy Bandya and Garibi.
That was funny.
It was funny.
But like there are a lot of people, even from Spit Dope.
Yeah.
People like Youngstar was there, Frappe Ash was there, See Them Moth was there. Then Smoke was there as well. Smoke as well. If you look at how he makes songs, it's all because of battle rap. He's got punchlines after punchlines, right? Like that's his writing. That's his writing.
There's his tag is like
Punchline King or something. I think he's also inspired a lot by Big L or someone. Like those kind of people.
It's kind of like that.
But I think it's good that you guys are coming back, because that platform is needed now. Because there are battle rap league happening, but I feel having something like that, having you, EMF and stuff running it, that know-how,
for sure,
works would be good for younger generation as well to kind of learn from.
And like B3 left at this very like awkward position because we had this like a tournament. We were literally in the middle of a tournament, and we did it up until the semi-finals. It's called Art of War. So we have done Art of War 1 and Art of War 2, where we had the semi-finals, and because we want to crown like the best battle rapper of India, right? Like that's the thing. And now we have this situation where the last time we left off was like EMF was the winner, and that dude AJ was the winner of the semi-finals. So now we have the finals. So we know that there's going to be a clash between these two like fucking incredible writers. And just to lead up to that, because I don't want Art of War to be just this battle event that just happens, you know. So the next B3 event is not going to be Art of War, but like we want to lead up to this grand event where we actually crown the best battle rapper of India. Like we put a title on it. So we have the system where there's a clan master thing where only the clan master can challenge the grandmaster. So Code is the current holder of that title. And let's see, once if whoever wins between EMF and that dude AJ, Code is gonna have to battle either one of them. And yeah, so let's see how that goes.
Is that dude AJ here? Because I heard he's in Amsterdam.
He's in Amsterdam. He's actually coming back here. He's
going
to be coming back here. He's coming back here, I think in March or something.
Okay. He's just coming for a bit, or
for a bit,
moving?
and then he's going to actually come back here in August or something. August, September.
Nice.
Yeah,
he's a really good battle rapper.
Yeah, he's been a dope battle rapper since I started writing.
Yeah.
He's that good. Like in Insignia, there was this thread. So in Orkut we had threads, right? It was like if you click the link, you'll see posts of like so many people of whatever posting. So he had his own, like some of his fans or something, I don't know who made it. Somebody had made a thread called That Dude AJ Lines. And if you click on that, you'll see all of his battle lines. Like he was that good. Like people listed all of his battle lines and they studied it. Like it was like, fucking, how is he able to do this? You know, he's one of the top dogs. HOD, That Dude AJ, so many others, man. Like I can't remember all of them right now, but fucking killer, like people in back in the day of like text battling days. But that dude AJ, he proved himself even on ground. Like there's nobody who sounds like him in a battle. Because he's just calm and composed and he's just speaking to you. But the words that he's saying just like fucking hits you, bro. It just insults you in the worst way possible, and that's like torture. That's like water torture, basically. You're just like fucking sitting there and taking it, and this guy doesn't give a fuck about you, bro. This guy's not even caring about the delivery. He's just saying the words and you're like, fuck, bro. And EMF is the complete opposite. He's like, he'll just get in your face and say a lot of shit with high energy and make fun of you and all of those things. So very distinct styles, you know. So
EMF is really good as well.
EMF is a killer, bro. EMF is like top level.
Yesterday, me and Shreyas were sitting together, no? So we were watching that dude AJ, one of his battle rap from B3. We were watching it. God. He looks like a psycho.
He is a psycho. He does when he gets on the backstage. You're like, he's a psycho, bro. Like you can't relate to this guy anymore.
I even like the battle you did with
Kavi,
the home invasion. I think it was the final.
Home invasion.
And it's like long.
It was
you
long.
put the whole thing on YouTube as well. It's pretty good. With Kala Pani as well, coming back to that. So the album, the core is basically when everything like goes to shit in a way. Like true art is gonna be what's gonna like, you know, bring things back. Which I feel like art has that power that it can. With the current time, how things are going in our country and all over the world, do you think like it will take us a few more years for that cycle to come back of good art coming up again, or?
No, I feel we have good art. We have great artists.
We have great artists, yes, but in mainstream is what I mean.
Sorry, I didn't get the question.
So like for good art to be mainstream again, do you think it will take a bit of time? For that, because we have good artists for sure. There's a lot of good artists, but they all have their niche. You know what I mean? Like
I get what you mean. Yeah, that's a very tricky question, bro. That's a good question because you know, I feel like because of social media and because of like this mass distraction that we have every day with us, all like it can be any generation. We're all distracted all the time. There's so much noise around us. There's so much negative stuff going on around us.
There's so much fake stuff as well.
Fake stuff as well. Some things that are being just forced into your face. You know, listen to this song. You know, and people just listen to that song over and over and over again. That's what I feel like when I go to Instagram. I hear like 4 songs and they're all like some meme songs, or they're like some super hyper famous song for the moment. For like 1 or 2 months they have this cycle.
Yeah.
And that's like I hear like 4 or 5 songs. That's it. Like that's your consumption of music now. Your music is via your social media. It'll tell you what you have to listen to, and people will then listen to it, and maybe they'll listen to it because you know what's happening, like because of a few songs here and there like being pasted with 1,000 visuals, you develop this visual aesthetic to a song. Like if you're hearing a random song, you'll feel good about listening to that song because everybody's listening to it and they have this social status associated with that song. So you'll make a reel on that song and you only connect to that song and you don't know what the artist has done and you don't even know who he or she is. So like that's kind of fucking up the discovery process. So and also at the same time it's dumbing down the audience even further. So it's very difficult to draw that line now, because now earlier it was like people didn't really like your favorite albums. You've connected to them because you sat through them.
Correct.
Like favorite artists, not albums. Your favorite artists, you've connected to them because you heard them on a cassette or a CD or like a playlist, MP3 or whatever. I'm talking about like the times when music was not as accessible. You discovered your favorite artists just randomly scrolling through. Maybe you found one song and then you like, who the fuck is this? And then you like heard everything. But now even those kind of artists will be hidden from view, because you don't know, because so many things are being blasted on your face. Your friends are making reels on this trendy song because it'll catch the eyeballs of whatever, blah blah blah. Even you'll start making reels or memes about that and all that stuff. So it's shifting from the kind of music you make to the person you are, right? So you have to find ways to do that now. Like so, as an artist, it hurts even worse because it's like a double-edged sword. Like you wouldn't expect an artist from any other era to do this. To like, hey guys, check out my latest reel. Fucking whatever. Make content about. Like content is a word that has destroyed everything. I would say. But like on the flip side as well, there are some success stories where core music has pushed the artist, and that push is only there because thousands of like tens of thousands of dollars have gone behind marketing this one song, just one song or two songs or whatever. And and on the flip side of things, there are some people who are doing really great because they got a great deal and they got a great like vision and they can enact that. Like Alif Laila is an amazing album. The way these made each single connect with each other with the story and all that stuff, that's like really hard to do. And like
I think his rollout was one of the best as well. The rollout
it was amazing. It was amazing. Farhan is an artist. Like he knows that this is what he is. All the people over there, like Farhan, Gravity, everybody. So they know like who they are. Basically. So it's very few people that can actually do that. But then apart from that, you won't see it. Mainstream and all that stuff. So that's the thing, and it is super competitive. It is like especially as an indie man, like it's really competitive because everybody knows everybody, and you're like, I feel like outcasts make the best music, but then they're an outcast, so it's because like they have this thing that only they understand and only the way that their processes work. They end up building things that are exceptional, but you have to be exception, like you're an exception basically.
Correct.
So that's the sacrifice, but then if that is the case, then you can also figure out how to exceptionally promote yourself, and that goes for everyone. Like whoever is trying to make music and do stuff like that. Like even with Kala Pani, it was all a learning for me. Like that's what I meant about like everybody's figuring things out. So they're just like, even I'm figuring how to promote myself in a way that I can connect with people but not lose my identity in my songs. You know?
And I think when you're like letting things happen the way they're meant to be organically, that's when you actually make the best work that you have, and it kind of shows as well. And I was talking the other day with someone as well about like with an artist you connect because of few reasons. One is what they're talking about. Second is their conviction. And I think if you're forcing yourself to do something,
Yeah.
the conviction is not going to be there.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
there's not going to be conviction,
Yeah.
and then the other person is going to be like, okay, I
Yeah.
don't actually believe what this person is
Exactly.
trying to say.
Exactly.
Like, you know, like
and a lot of artists fall into this like first ever trap.
Yeah,
First ever trap. And like when I did it,
Yeah.
it was literally the first ever. Like
Yeah.
there was a reason for me to push it.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I don't want to sound like everybody else in terms of, oh, this is the first time, blah blah blah. And
Yeah.
nor was the album created to make sure like, oh, this is the first one.
Yeah.
Oh, the visuals.
Yeah.
The visuals
Yeah.
were not, like, it was not, oh, I have to be first.
Yeah.
Get there first. Now,
Yeah.
get there first was not my mentality, but it is the first time
Yeah.
that you can experience something in 3 different ways, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I've not seen anybody else
Yeah.
do it,
Yeah.
or you know, like,
Yeah.
but when as a listener, there is that chance, like, still that you get to explore it in 3 different
Yeah.
ways. So
Yeah.
it's very real,
Yeah.
and people fall into this trap like, oh, I'm the first ever. There's like first ever XYZ blending with hip hop artist, and there's the first ever XYZ doing some certain kind of visual.
Yeah.
Everybody's falling into the
Yeah,
first trap.
yeah. It's, I think in the country there's like trends, no?
Yeah.
There's a trend. So I think this first thing is a trend now.
It is
so
a
now
trend.
everyone's
It
like
is a
catching
trend. Yeah.
on to it, and
Yeah. It's
everyone-
been there for years, man. Like
Yeah.
I feel like, so that one thing when I was trying to call it the first ever blah blah blah, I was thinking, bro, am I doing the same shit? But then I thought about it. I'm like, I'm not doing the
Yeah,
same thing,
yeah,
because it is actually correct
Yeah,
in
yeah,
a way, you
yeah.
know. So I was like, yeah, why not? Like,
yeah,
fucking,
yeah.
it is the first
Yeah.
thing, so you'll understand. Like I want people to talk about it. You know, even the way that people use Google has changed, right? Like
Yes.
if you type something on Google, it'll just first give you an overview and blah blah blah. So I want my stuff to be known as the first ever thing,
Correct.
you know, because the algorithm does pick
Yeah.
it up.
Yeah.
And like, not for bad reason. It's like I am giving you so much value. Like, there is so much to learn here and experience here and blah blah blah. So yeah, that's why I say that. You know, I say that for many different reasons, but whatever I say is true. It's not something that I just want to say it just to say it, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And I also feel like some, like, you know, artists like you, or even like if I talk about my work, I feel if we're putting good value, we need to promote it.
Yeah,
we need to sell it. Like we need to say we are good at it. You know, like instead of like just hiding behind it and waiting for other people to validate us. When we know like we are doing something and we're providing value, so 100%. You can believe it or not, but we know we are. You know, like, and I feel that's what happens a lot. Like a lot of artists who keep on selling themselves that much. Then people start believing it. But like if you're just putting good stuff and not saying anything, people just you know they
take
don't
a backseat.
Take a backseat as well. So it's good to like promote yourself.
It is, and
for the right reasons as well when you're actually doing something.
No, 100%, man. That's one thing I realized as well. Like, all like because I took this whole 2-3 year break from like social media and whatever before Kala Pani, before the rollout and whatever. I was like, I got into this, like, first of all, my algorithm got fucked because of that, like, which is fucking whatever. But then I also realized, like, in the process, we did a great rollout and we had everything planned. But at the end of the day, you know, Kala Pani talks about so much, but it doesn't talk about me. Like, I'm not doing justice to my own self because I'm trying to be one-dimensional. And right now, you can't be that. It's the misfortune of my time of like being a one-dimensional artist or whatever. Like, I wouldn't imagine like Leonardo da Vinci being like, hey bro, check out the fucking draft I made of Mona Lisa and whatever, blah blah. I wouldn't imagine, but it is what it is. Like, I can't hate the player, I'll hate the game. So whatever, you know. So I do get it. Like I do get it. I am, in many ways, I am like, you know, one-dimensional and all that, but it's not something apart from who I am. That's really who I am. Like I don't care about fucking talking to you about something that I thought about, but there are some things that I have to speak about. You know, and I feel like I can offer that to the world because people are out there pushing bullshit advice, pushing bullshit narratives, and pushing bullshit content. And I'm like, I can't bullshit people. Like I don't want to bullshit people. If I want to talk about something, I'm going to talk about like something real, and that something real that happened to me or whatever, and that actually makes you think about things just like my songs do. And like when they realize like the person is not different from the songs, it's good because they get like, people do relate to the songs more and they connect to the person. I get it. I get social media. It's not like I don't get it. It's just like, it's difficult for me. You know, it's difficult for me to navigate that because I don't imagine myself as that kind of artist. Like, you know, I'm very rooted in, like, my idols growing up were these artists who really didn't give a fuck about they just made the good music, man. Like they really made some really good music, and I was like, bro, Like that's, if I can just do, you know, those kind of things. But it's like, right now, there's so much noise out there, bro. Like it's crazy. It's crazy to just capture something real is a very difficult task. So that's why even after Kala Pani, I've not made so much noise out of it. I've sent it to people, like people have accepted and they've like written about it or posted about it or whatever. But the people who haven't done it because they expect something out of it, I'm like, I can't, like, you know, I can't. I had this whole situation where I was about to pay someone, you know, to, like, they were scamming me for the money. So thank God I didn't pay them. You know, like there was a lot of shit basically. So, but there are some people who really stuck by the project and who really liked it. And they were the ones who reacted to it. And I was like, bro, that means a lot to me, you know, because I don't have like this liberty of spending thousands of sponsor money or whatever. This is literally my life savings. It is literally my life savings. Like, that's what I wanted to do with it, and I did it. And like, that's a big win for me. Because I never thought I would be able to do it. And just to be able to break that, once I broke that barrier of myself, like understanding like I can literally put something out like this, that's when that whole self-belief thing and that whole thing, it just grew. I was like, yeah, now I'm finding my rhythm, you know. Now I'm like inspired by my own creations and all that stuff, because I've never been inspired by my own creations before, you know, like even with greatness and all that stuff, I'm like,
I remember we spoke about it and you like, I don't connect with that.
I don't connect with it anymore. Like, but I'm sure, like, you know, 17-year-old me is proud of what I'm doing right now, because that was the vision. That was the vision from the start. And just me getting to do this is like a big thing for me. So I'm like, it's great, bro. Like, fuck it, let's do it. You know?
I think that's another thing that we a lot of time don't realize, right? Just doing something of this scale. You would have never imagined doing that when you were 17, right?
I swear.
And like, you complain about things now, but you don't realize like how far you've actually come. Like,
exactly.
I also, like, sometimes I would complain about things, but I'm like, I get to sit down with people I respect. They respect my work. Like, I would have not imagined that like 2-3 years ago. You know, so like, like sometimes you just have to like kind of think.
Understand, take it. When you take it back is when you actually see like, fuck, this is how far I came. Like, I can't, and it's unimaginable. Like, you know, you don't know what's gonna happen next and whatever. But it's as long as you're doing it, that's all. Like, the path is just being made as you walk it, basically. So that's where I'm at as well. Like, even with Kala Pani, with the whole writing of the whole, like the visualizing of the concept, like, I was just making it, you know, it was just there, and I knew what was, I could see it in my like vision, like mind and whatever, that this is what happens here, and this is how it happens here, and this is how it happens here, and just doing it just helped me create the story further and further and further. So that was like, it was literally otherworldly for me, like connecting with, like, becoming a channel itself for that kind of energy and those kind of thoughts was something like I cannot explain. Like, every artist needs to do that. Like, every true artist does that, you know, and in my opinion, like, they do that. Like all these great, like Shikribal and Alif Laila and all of those people, like, you know, they know who they are. Like, they can, like, you know, otherwise they wouldn't experiment in this way and build something which is so raw and unfiltered, and that's who they are, and blah blah blah. So big ups to everybody, those artists who are actually in tune with themselves. So,
and I feel like, because I've met you a couple of times now, and I've met Farhan once. You see that as well when you talk to those artists. You know, these artists actually understand themselves, and they understand the vision they have. It doesn't have to be the right vision or not, but they truly understand it, and you can feel that. And a lot of artists you meet, whose work you're like, okay, I get, like, it doesn't connect with me that much. You see that they're actually not connected with themselves. That's why their work is like that as well.
Exactly. Any kind of image that you put, you will like reap your own downfall later on. You know? You won't even relate to what you're writing about, and where's the fun in that? Like, you know, like, no matter what success you might have got, you know, it doesn't matter. Like, if you're not fulfilled within yourself, you'll just be like, you'll do what? You'll have a lot of money and you'll have a lot of blah blah blah, but all of that will be nothing in, like, your inner world won't be complete. So you need to complete that first, like, and before you present yourself, you know. So that's something that I think that a lot of people do need to realize, especially young people who start out looking at this world that's been built, which is basically fake, plastic, and they look at that and they get inspired by it.
Yeah.
So they start writing and acting like it. We did that. We did do that. We went through that. But then because of battle rap, because of all these, nitty-gritties about, but we had like people who used to cyberbully us. Like we had this feedback, like heavy feedback. Like if you're not good, you're not good, bro. Like improve and then come back. And nowadays you don't have that. Nowadays everybody's an artist. And everybody's the goated. Like everybody's goated. Everybody's fucking dope. And I get it. But then you're so caught up in this distraction, this illusion of who you are, that if somebody just throws the truth at your face, you'll just like, you won't understand, like you won't even relate to it. You'll be like, no, that's not who I am. But in fact it is, and so people don't understand themselves as well. So they need to start there, I would say, because it's very easy to just be carried away and then just fall into this trap of like sounding like someone else, and it doesn't work. Like I know people who are like super big, super fame and all that stuff, and they're paranoid. They can't walk out of their house, So like, what happened, and what happened to all of this effort, whatever that you did, and you couldn't, satisfy your own self. So
one thing I want to say about you as well, now that I've like spoken to you a couple of times, last time we had like a off-camera conversation as well. I think you're one of the few people who've been in the scene for 14, 15 years that I've actually at least like spoken to. That are not sour or don't have a lot of negativity about the scene or other people in general. You usually just talk about your stuff. And I think I like that about you.
Thank you, man.
And also like how you've evolved as an artist as well from the start to now. Like there's always like you're working on things. You're not just putting out the same stuff again and again. So I think that's what I like about your art and what you've been doing. So
thank you, bro.
That's good to see, because I've met a lot of like people who've been in the scene for a long time, and like whatever conversation I've had with them off camera, like probably 90% has been like more like on the negative side. But with you, it's not been like that at all. And which is good to see as well. Like even because I also know the kind of work you put out. It's like a lot of, you put your blood, sweat, tears, basically. And even like sometimes you don't get the results and all that. You can get sour, especially for that. But you are.
No, definitely, bro. No, it's not like it doesn't affect me. Like definitely, like I have been.
No, I'm sure it does affect you. It does affect everyone. But
because
at least you're not talking about it all the time.
No, like I'm not. I've learned to not complain.
Like you're not delving into that.
Yeah, man. Like I used to. That was a really big like character flaw in me earlier. I used to complain about like things a lot, like about different things and different situations, and until I realized, like throughout this whole music making process and all the process, just realized like, bro, everything that you put out is just you manifested. Like you just, your outer thoughts, basically your thoughts are coming back at you. So I've learned to not complain. Like like I've turned like, in the last, I think 5 years or whatever, I've made sure like I take extreme responsibility for whatever happens, like ownership, like extreme ownership about things, and everything that happens, even if it's not under my control, that's still my fault. It is my fault. Like I get it, and I hold myself accountable as well. But there are some things that just happen and I can't control it. But I'll still blame myself for it, and I'll make sure like I learn from it. You know, that's something that I've tried to do for the last 5 years of my time here, and even like it shows. Not just in music, like even health wise, even like relationship wise and everything wise, like me talking to people, the me that is talking to people right now is a completely different person from me talking to people at any time in life before. So complaining is something, I feel like complaining is so beneath me right now. It's like I would want to do so many, because I have ideas, bro. The only thing I don't have is some kind of a fucking sponsorship or some kind of a deal where I get to do what I want. I understand Kanye West, bro. I understand his mentality when he says fuck all this, just give me the money and let me do things. I get it, bro. That is what I feel like every independent artist should be like that. And it's like not in terms of whatever else, but at least in terms of getting your ideas out there. I get it. Like that's what I want to do as well. So yeah, man. Like I have so many cool ideas that I can work on, and fuck the time it takes, as long as I get to do them, right? Like who knows what's gonna happen, So I'm just there. I'm just there in the process, and whatever happens, whatever happens.
And I also like that you actually are accountable, and also the other thing is when you say you don't care about the results, it's actually true, and also like we've known each other for a while. Even when Kala Pani came out, you never reached out to me saying you should put out a review or something, which a lot of people do. But you never did. So that also tells like you're not someone who's like trying to, get those favors from people for anything.
No,
and like I did it because I liked the project. But like
I know
it's not something like
that's what I'm saying. All the people that I've worked with, they really liked the project. Definitely they did. So I was like, okay, cool. This is good. I have been reaching out to people. It's not like I've not. But then I've realized like this whole thing is like the circle thing, where it's like everybody needs some kind of payment and all that, and nobody's willing to. Because a project of this scale, had it been released in anywhere else in the world, there are people who actually genuinely care about the culture so much
and they would write about it.
It's only in India that it didn't happen. So
Rohan at least made a video. Which
Rohan
was
did. Afaq did. Like
he did as well.
Afaq did. He made an Instagram.
He did.
He made an Instagram thing. But yeah, like with Rohan as well, I respected his professional fees as well because he has some kind of thing. He has tied up with this manager. There's another. That's when I knew that there were some other people that were scamming me. So I was like, okay, thank God. I didn't, waste things over there. I'm just being blunt about it because I feel like it does deserve that, and I want to have as many people on board as possible, and I did reach out. I think I reached out to you as well.
You did reach out to me, but you didn't ask me. You did talk to me about it, but you didn't say, "Can you write a review?" Because sometimes what happens is like people, people directly would tell you, "Can you write like a review and talk about this?" But like, I'm not gonna just say what you're telling me.
That one thing I didn't do.
You didn't do that. You did reach out to me, and you said like you just said if I want to do anything or like a podcast and stuff, but like you never said like, can you write a review and talk about this, because sometimes when people say like, say this, I'm like, then I'm not reviewing it, right?
No,
like I'm just saying what you want me to say.
Exactly.
Which I'm not comfortable doing that.
I'm sure you'll have like labels and agents.
I do get people. The managers and stuff, they reach out and they say like they even willing to pay, but like it's like something. Maybe I would do it.
You can pick and choose. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. And as you keep growing, it'll be better for you to have your independent thoughts on it instead of just bucking or whatever. Because that's what like it happens a lot. Like the first round of the rollout was a lot of these things where like of course I told the people like, hey, this is what I'm doing. You have the chance to interpret it in your way and just say what you want to say. These are my pointers for you. You don't have to stick to them. This was the same thing with the creation of the process, like with the art, with the visuals. Like I was like, hey, this is what I think about it. This is how I imagine it. But it's you who has to like interpret it, and you have to create it. Like I don't want to interfere in that process. And I feel like every artist should have. I don't get the concept of A&Rs. I don't get it. Like I can't have somebody who likes a certain form of music come and tell me, hey, you know what, you should make something like that.
No, but I think the A&R, they're not working how they should work here. In India especially, because like what they'll do is, they won't see how it fits your world.
Exactly.
They'll see how the last song which worked, you should make that. But like, like, they're not working the correct way. I think A&R here.
They're not. Here, no.
No.
That's what I'm saying. Even this whole reaction, the review thing, like if you look at outside, they have a culture of like discovering music. Like no matter what kind of sound it is and blah blah blah, you'll always hear new people there, and they might be old people as well. They might be whatever blah blah blah. But there's this culture of like inclusiveness. Like it doesn't matter who you are and what identity you relate to and blah blah blah. It's beyond politics. It's beyond identity politics. It's beyond like it's based on creation. It's based on what did you bring to the world. How does it sound and blah blah. And they'll listen to you. If you're bad, you're bad. If you're good, you're good. But they do make it a point to like promote and push and all that stuff. Here it's like it's locked down right now because now there's so much corporations in the game that there's this like I feel like reactors and reviewers, they earn more than actual artists.
Yes,
they do.
They do. They get paid a lot now,
which is like amazing for the creators and for the reviewers and all that. Great, good for them. But then the artists are the one who is supposed to be the end result of like it shouldn't be like you should sacrifice one for the other. They should also get paid, but the artists also should get paid because it's both ways, and they don't. Which is astonishing. And I told this to Rohan as well, like bro, like like this is what's happening right now. Like everybody understands like this is the game right now. And man, in fact Prince was the only one, like apart from you, he was the only one who took the content and he just made a reel and he put it out. Like, he really liked it. Like, these are the people. That's why I feel like, I connect with very few people who are like, who really connect with it. Like, and there are people who saw it. I don't know if they got it or they didn't get it, but they didn't put anything out of it. I know that they saw it. I know that they heard it. I know that they've, seen, observed everything that happened, and they never spoke about it because they didn't get any money. So I was like, okay, cool. Fuck it,
Yeah. But that's the thing, like, that was one of the main reasons why I wanted to get into this space as well.
Yeah.
Because I was like, apart from Rohan, which I like, I kind of respect his work and the way he like presents him and all of that, I respect that. But like, apart from that, there aren't that many people who do like actually, get into the details and all of that. So I was like, there's a big gap,
I would say like for you literally deep dive a lot. A lot more than a lot of people.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Rohan is good in like predicting things and understanding different facets of different things, but you're more like in tune to what's the deeper meaning beyond this person or this event or a song or whatever. So it's more like personality based. For you need to track the whole lineage of things, which is I relate to it. I relate to that. Like
because I'm also like, as a person, I'm not like surface level person. So I like to like
I get it. Like lots of people they just react to it because somebody paid them to react to it, and they react to it based on something that's being told to react, So I was like, bro, fuck it, I like working with people who have their own interpretation. One thing I noticed was like so many people just feed what I tell them to in ChatGPT, and they say the same thing, like what's been written out. I've seen that happen. So I was like, shit. I was like, because I'm a writer myself, so I understand like, oh shit, this is literally.
There's a lot of like big artists as well, though.
Yeah.
If you look at whatever like their branding and even like captions and stuff come out, these days it's ChatGPT. You
it's
can see
it.
I can tell. You can easily tell.
Yeah.
And like the thing is, they're not even trying to hide it.
They won't hide it.
Like you can.
They don't care. They don't care.
You're like, okay, this is definitely ChatGPT. You haven't even changed one word. Like they probably just tell ChatGPT, like this is what we want to write, and then fucking write it.
Exactly.
And it just doesn't have any like. And that's the thing about AI.
Yeah.
Like AI, music as well. I think there's a lot of songs coming from AI like artists on like Spotify and stuff, and they've got like 11 million monthly listeners and stuff. But I always feel the most connection you have with an artist is when you actually see them live.
Yeah,
it's like a different.
It's true.
You're never gonna be able to see a AI live, So
true,
like,
exactly.
You're not gonna have that connection.
You won't.
But hopefully, true art doesn't get like.
I don't think it will, because I feel like everything is moving towards a direction where it's more based on live. It's based on, because live events are booming. And live music as well is booming. And like as an artist in today's times, when everything is digitized, the only real connection you'll have with your fans left is live stuff. Like you have to be a live performer or whatever, blah blah blah. So man, like human skill is going to be valued in terms of the creativity aspect of things. Like now that everybody can become a musician, like they can't really play an instrument or they can't really do something, rap this well or on stage as a act or whatever, or play the drums or play the bass or whatever. So I feel that's why like No Feature also exists, because we want to show them like this is like raw human connection and unfiltered, like this is who we are from the generation we come from and grew up from, just carrying on that tradition, So that's why the whole concept exists. Like,
and it's good to have that as well in the scene, especially because like live performances are going down in hip hop, so it's good to have like
man, that's another thing, like in this country, like there's very few spaces left for
live
for actually having a good sound and actually having live stuff. Like so many, like there's very few.
Blue Frog is opening apparently.
It is opening.
It's opening this year, or?
This year.
That was such a good space.
I'm waiting for it to be back. Like, if it goes well, I get to perform there. Oh my god, that's gonna be a highlight. The
last time I was in Blue Frog was they were doing this. There were some 3 guitarists. I forgot their name. But like how Joe Satriani and stuff used to do G3. So they had like something similar in India. Some artists were doing it.
Okay.
So that happened in Blue Frog. This is like ages ago.
Damn.
That was when I went there.
Sick.
Yeah, but it would be nice to go there.
It would be. It would be.
But I'm looking forward to whatever you put out next, bro. Like you're putting amazing work and it's just like elevating every year. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yep.
But is there anything else you want to talk about before we wrap up?
No, that's pretty much.
Yeah, we've spoken about everything.
We've spoken about everything.
Perfect.
और देख खुले आंखों से, हाफ ना बंद भर फेफड़ों को ताजी सांसों से। कहते हैं इच्छा पूरी करने वाला ऊपर वाला है, मगर खुद को समझ आज तू खुद टूटा तारा है। मैं